Travelers on the Omnibus occasionally touches on mature subject matter with mature language. As such, audience discretion is advised.
How am I supposed to get my truck stop fucked on? Welcome, everyone, to Travelers on the Omnibus, a field trip through nerd and pop culture. My name is James McCarthy.
I'm Bray Davis. I don't even remember you saying that.
I'm Jody Kite. This is what I needed headphones for?
Yes, specifically you.
I'm Ethan Skinner. I don't want to be on this bus anymore.
You're on the bus. This is already taken off. We're already going 90 miles an hour, so there you go.
I will jump off this bus.
No, that was part of the Bucky's comments about the restroom, and
yeah.
Listening to that back, it was like that was the most awkward joke I've made in like forever and a day. It was like, nope, that one's going on the button machine.
There was a lot of weird shit said during that segment.
There were several many things, like the bathrooms are too clean. Still with that.
Sure.
Later on tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be giving you our hottest hot takes in the world of pop and nerd culture. But before we begin on that, let's figure out what we've been doing since the last week. Ethan, fire away. I heard you broke your leg.
Okay, so I had plans to go watch the Superman movie this week. This past weekend. I originally wanted to do it last Friday, but I told Bianca about it. She said, I want to go watch it also. I'm like, okay, cool. We'll reschedule it for this weekend when you're off. We were also getting rid of our couch.
Okay.
And so Meredith, Sheldon, a couple of friends of ours, they came over to pick it up, and I'm helping them move it out. And y'all been to my house. There's like
Yes.
a little like ledge,
Little
going from inside
little
to
dip,
outside.
little dip there.
I take one step. I'm holding one end of the couch.
Oh no.
I twisted my foot.
Oh no.
And I rolled on it.
Mm.
I could not walk for 2 days.
Oh my god.
I go into work Monday night,
Uh-huh.
and I am still in pain. But I'm able to like walk around finally.
Right. You're lucky you didn't break your ankle.
Yeah, no. I had Bianca went out and got an ankle brace for me.
Yeah.
And so for the entirety of Saturday and Sunday, I've just been in that.
That's what ended backyard wrestling for me. So we were
Hold on. You can't just throw something out like
He's
that.
not just. He's explaining. Give him a minute.
No, you gotta give us time to breathe and process that sentence. Jesus.
I think you're the only one that didn't process.
that might deserve
I
a butt.
not what the
Specifically
fuck-
processed it.
That is not what the fuck I thought was gonna come. Who knew that was gonna come out of his mouth?
If I had fucked up my ankle backyard wrestling, I would stop backyard wrestling.
Jesus Christ.
That makes Jody relatable.
That also could be a button, what I said there.
Yeah.
But yeah. So what happened was I picked up a friend of mine and was gonna do a power bomb on the ground.
Oh God. No padding.
Backyard wrestling.
Backyard wrestling. I
We
wasn't
were-
gonna
we were invincible back in
I
the
wasn't
90s.
gonna like
Gotcha.
throw him down. I was just gonna like drop him, and he was hopefully tuck his chin in and not break his neck. Anyway, instead what happened was I had to adjust and I had to move a little bit while like picked him up for the power bomb because I had his weight all over my shoulders. And there was a patch of grass. The ground had like uneven, like most people's yards are not completely even anyway. So
No.
it's like uneven. However, unluckily for me, this patch of grass was at the same level as the rest of the grass, except it was a hole that had grown the grass in. And I hadn't been in the backyard for a while, so I didn't know it was there. And I stepped into it with him up in the air.
Yep.
And I lost my balance and carefully, but still dropped him. He was planning on being dropped, so he knew the drop was coming. But he didn't know he was going to be dropped on my ankle. And it made a popping noise.
No, thank you.
And
That's usually what happens when the ankle is injured. There's a popping sound.
and needless to say, I was also not able to walk for a couple of days, and then helped a friend move 4 days later because I'm a good friend, and you're not moving fast enough. That's what I got. And I'm like, hey, motherfucker.
Yeah.
I broke my ankle 4
Yeah.
days ago.
And I'm here helping
and
you.
I'm here helping you.
For free.
For free.
It is not a fun time with a
Yep. Yet another reason why I hate certain people that are not in this room.
yes.
So, yeah. Sorry, didn't mean to steal your thunder there.
No, it's all good. It's all
What
good.
is an episode if we don't like
Yeah.
completely
Take over
interrupt?
my what I've
Yes.
been
Yeah.
up to.
We each
Hijack
have
it.
1.5, except for Ethan. We each have 1.5. What have we been doing?
Yes.
Because we all take over part of his.
Yes.
That's very
So,
true.
Yeah.
Ethan gets like a quarter of
Like
it.
we are Percy Jackson because we are the lightning thieves
yes.
of Ethan Skinner.
During my 2 days of injury and being stuck at home, I've played 2 video games.
Okay.
The first is going to be Peak. It's a new.
That's that climbing game?
Yes.
Okay.
It is extremely fun. I played it with my brothers and Bianca, and you and your friends. You're getting on a plane. You're going on vacation. Plot twist: the plane crashes onto a desert island, and the only sense of direction you have is a mountainscape that you have to climb in order to hopefully signal down passing by airplanes to come rescue you. It's very fun. It has like a stamina system of you can only climb for so long. You have way to overburden yourself, so it drains your stamina also. And it uses proximity chat. It is the funniest thing ever.
Oh, I can
'Cause,
imagine. Yeah.
You have like certain help actions, like you can help people climb up over a ledge. But if they run out of stamina, they're just yelling at you to help, and they just fall, and their voice just echoes down.
Oh, that's cool.
It is
Okay, I like
amazing
that.
and funny.
I like little details like that. That's good. I like that.
The second game is a single player game that came out. When did this come out? 2 years ago. Called Dave the Diver. Have y'all heard of it or played
I have
it?
not heard of that.
Okay,
I
let
think
me
I've heard of this one.
let me set the stage for you. You are on vacation. You're happily retired from your day job.
Is your name Dave?
Your name is Dave.
Okay, just checking. All right.
You're,
Is this the one that people complain like on the stupid Steam woke thing? They said that it was woke because the diver was overweight.
Yes.
yes.
Yes. Okay.
You're on vacation. You're in like the Panama Key, the Florida Keys. You're enjoying life.
You're still
Panama
You're
Keys.
still in Panama,
Yeah, I'm still in
Florida. Yeah,
Panama.
okay.
An old friend of yours calls you. It's like, hey, buddy, do you want to eat sushi? You go, yes. So you fly all the way over to some like Pacific island, like Hawaii adjacent, and you meet up with your friend and like, where's the sushi? Your friend goes, I lied. You have to catch the fish so we can have sushi. You don't pay any mind to it. You're like, okay, let me go catch some fish. I used to be a diver. You go catch some fish.
I used to be a diver.
You bring the fish up to your friend. Like, okay, I'm ready for sushi. Friend goes, plot twist. That fish is actually for another friend of ours who just opened a sushi restaurant that you're gonna help manage. Do I get to? You then ask, can I eat the sushi? He goes, no. So you then become a business partner in a sushi restaurant while also diving for fish. It's actually quite fun. It's one of those like easy like pick up, put down games. You don't have to be so heavily invested in it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm having fun with it.
Nice.
One of my favorite things about Dave the Diver, there's a horror game called Dredge.
Yes.
Mhm.
That is, and there is
That one I really want to play.
Yeah, I do want to play
There
that one.
is DLC for Dave the Diver, which makes it Dredge,
Mhm.
and you have to like catch aberrant fish and then serve it to hooded cultists as they come into your
Nice.
sushi bar. I'm glad that you're playing this game because I now have like someone I know that has
Mhm.
played the game and is enjoying it. I may pick it up once it's on a Steam sale.
I'm enjoying it. If you like cozy casual games,
Mm.
don't have to put too much time investment in it, I'd say you'd like it.
Right.
Yeah, that's been me.
All right, we hope your foot does not fall off, sir. Jody, enlighten us with a week's worth of activities.
So I've been playing a lot of 2 games specifically this week. I've been back on the Slay the Spire.
Nice.
I am forever trying to beat the heart with the 4th character, the Watcher. I've found my runs to be pretty close. I'll get to the 3rd act or even the heart and just can't get there. It's really annoying. It's really obnoxious, especially when I watch videos to figure out how to do this, and everyone's like, oh, the Watcher's busted. Just do this, just remove some cards and go infinite and you'll be fine. That's not how that works. That's not how any of this works. The rooms are random that have the question marks on them, so you're not going to know whether you're going to have a guy play Wheel of Misfortune and you get some shitty curses, or if you're going to get some random potions, or if you're going to lose your relic, or if you're going to lose some life or some crap, and you're never really going to know what's going to happen until you get to it. So I don't see how you could say that it's easy to go infinite with a character when half of the game is procedurally generated and you have no idea what you're going to get. Now, granted, if you remove a card in one mystery room later on, it's probably going to come up with that being an option again, but it won't be every room, and it's random, so I'm mad. Anyway, so I've been playing Slay the Spire and being mad by playing Slay the Spire. This month, King of Fighters 15 is free on PlayStation. And I was saying that, man, I hope the DLC characters go on sale at some point because I would like to be able to do that because I really don't want to pay $15 for 3 characters. And so they had a sale where you could buy all the DLC characters and you had to do it in a specific way for $15. So I was able to unlock all 20 other wrestlers. Fighters, I mean. There are some wrestlers in there for King of Fighters 15, and I've been trying out new characters. It's been fun. I've played as Sylvie Paula, or just Sylvie. She's kind of like a gothy looking like chick. She looks kind of like a shorter version of Tira from Soul Calibur. She does a lot of really cool, like, lightning projectiles. She's got a lot of really cool anti-airs that also involve with, like, some pink lightning that she shoots out everywhere. She's pretty cool. Hinako is my other character that I've been playing. She is a wrestler / sumo wrestler. But she doesn't look sumo-ish or anything like that. That's what makes her look interesting. She's very... If I was going to like try and compare her to any other fighting style in a fighting game, I would say she's very close to, like, imagine Drunken Master fighting style from DOA or Virtual Fighter, except it's cleaner.
Okay.
So she just very fast, rapid punches, things like that. Lots of throw moves. So she's really cool. There's this guy called Duo Long, who has, like, something's going on with this guy's limbs. His leg looks like it's broken, so he's like kind of like Plastic Man / Mr. Fantastic. He can move around very fluid like as well. There's a lot of extra stuff going on. The 3 characters from Samurai Showdown DLC is in that as well, so you get to play some of those characters. Not really my style, kind of like mid-range. Very slow, very meticulous. I'm more of a rush character player. I like to get in there and do a lot of quick moves and do some combos and then jump back and then, like, cancel out what you're doing and keep going. But yeah, I've been enjoying playing more King of Fighters 15. That's me. That's all I've been up to, really.
Have you done more with Whip? Because I know Whip was your.
I have.
go-to
Yeah,
last week.
I've been trying to, like, go between my 2 mains that I'm trying to get really good at is Isla and Whip. Whip is kind of more of a technical fighter, which is not something I normally play. So I'm trying to get good with her. It's kind of difficult because you really don't have time to do. She's got 2 charge moves that are really powerful. And it's really hard to get those off without someone like getting up on your business trying to rush into you. So you kind of have to like knock them back in a couple of other opposition moves before you can get one of her like grapple moves down. Her charge grapple moves are really, really powerful. But yeah, I've been trying, but you know, I'm really good. I'm really good with like 2 or 3 characters, but sometimes it just doesn't work out for the character you're trying to make work. Sometimes you have to move on to a different one, you know?
There you go.
Yeah.
Brady, how's your week been?
Been all right. I started watching Ted Lasso. I'm part of the way through. I'm about a third of the way through the 3rd season, so I've watched most of it. It's a pretty good show. It's very wholesome. Wholesome in the fact that it's just like kind of a nice show. There's not a lot of like laugh out loud moments, but the characters are fun to watch. And when it's funny, it's really funny. Especially there's a character, Roy Kent. He starts out, he's kind of an aging soccer player on the team, and he is very funny. There was one part where I was taking like a drink of some soda or something, and like it caught me off guard, and I almost choked on it.
Nice.
Like it made me like suck in a whole bunch of air, and it really fucked me. Like my chest was hurting afterwards. I was like, Jesus Christ. But yeah, usually most of my like laugh out loud parts are him.
Yeah.
Because he's like super serious and intense. But yeah, I like the characters. It's a funny show. It's not, like I said, it's not laugh out loud, but it's just enjoyable. It's just nice. Yeah, it's about Ted Lasso is this like Midwestern college football coach, and he gets hired out of the blue to coach this like doing okay soccer team that's in like the top league right now, but they're not in the greatest spot.
In London.
Yeah, in London.
Gotcha.
Because the way it works with soccer, which I think is actually pretty interesting, is there's a bunch of soccer leagues, and if you do like the best in one league, you can move up a league. But if you're also like at the bottom of your league at the end of the season, you drop down a league, and there's like
The
a big
process is
difference.
called relegation.
Yeah, relegation or promotion.
I always wondered how that worked for
Yeah.
soccer.
Which I think is a very interesting thing that it would be cool if we could do that with some of our sports over here.
Imagine if we did that for American football.
Yeah, well, there would have to be like tons because there's like so many. Just in England, there's so many fucking soccer teams.
Because like you have the English Premier League, which is the top
Yeah, it's
league. And then you
Premier.
have the English Championship, League, and then it goes further on down the line. But
and
like,
then it starts going like tier 1, tier 2, tier
like
3, tier 4.
Legitimately, I believe there are more English soccer clubs than there are American professional sports teams in the 4 major sport. I think.
Yeah,
I think
probably.
It would
it's a
probably. I would
ridiculous
imagine
number.
it's at least close.
Let me ask him a question, but don't answer. I'm not a sports guy anymore, but I used to be a sports guy. So, do you know why we have the Super Bowl?
Why we have the Super Bowl?
Yeah, do you know why we have the Super Bowl?
No.
Because there are 2 separate groups of football, right? There's like
You have the
AFC.
National Football League and the American Football League.
right.
Yeah.
Those before the Super Bowl used to be completely separate from each other, and then eventually they had to figure something out.
Well, they one, it was like this is an attraction to see which is the better team.
Right.
And then as the AFL team started winning the Super Bowl, like the New York Jets become the first AFL team to win the Super Bowl. And then followed by that, the Kansas City Chiefs beat the Vikings, I believe, in the 4th. So it showed that the younger league, the younger league was the American Football League, had enough to stand. And rather than have the 2 split the pie between their 2 leagues, they merged and formed the NFL with the NFC, the National Football Conference, and the American Football Conference.
But they're still kind of separate, but they're not.
No,
they're
they're one entity.
right. But for bracket reasons and tournament reasons, like they have, anyway, that's why. That's why, because before they coalesced into one conglomerate, there were two separate entities.
Nice.
Unlike soccer, which has like 200 separate entities.
And
Yeah.
that's just in England.
Yeah. I didn't count any other world.
Like if you went to like La Liga, Serie A, like like,
Brazil's got like 1 million clubs or whatever you want to call them,
Yeah.
like leagues and clubs and all that.
Mm-hmm.
I used to be into soccer like heavy. I followed it for probably about 5 years.
Okay.
I got burnt out on sports, got tired of regular sports, and I was like, watched professional wrestling and soccer. And the reason for that is because even with Dish Network back in the day, there weren't a lot of things on television on Sundays, even with that many channels. And there were two things you could count on, though, being on Sundays. You had Telemundo, you could watch AAA, and then there was the other one that was where you could watch CMLL. So you watch Mexican wrestling.
probably Univision is what.
Yeah, it was Univision. So you watch like Lucha Libre for like 4 hours, and if you still wanted to watch a sports thing, there were 10 channels for soccer, most of which were spoken another language that wasn't English. But that's okay. You don't have to have English commentators when you're watching sports. You can figure that shit out on your own.
Yeah.
So I
Especially
watched
soccer.
Yeah, soccer for sure. Also, soccer.
Until someone gets called offside, and
Right.
You have
Yeah.
to figure out how that rule works.
Like
Yeah.
basketball was like
That's a joke in the show.
Yeah. Basketball was probably the last like American sport I was into. Basketball and hockey, because those sports, there's no stopping. It just keeps going the whole time.
Yeah.
Football and baseball are boring for me personally. Football, you just like do a thing, stop, do a thing, stop, do a thing, stop. Baseball is all stop.
Yeah.
And hockey is go, 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 and go some more.
Yeah.
And basketball is pretty much the same thing. Soccer is the ultimate for all those because they keep fucking playing until
Yeah, it's nothing but fucking run.
and it's nothing but running the whole time. And then when they stop for a few minutes, okay, we got to keep going. They keep running some more.
Yeah.
And then the pause is like penalty kicks. And that's the pause you get. Okay, breathe, penalty kick. Okay, keep going.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, baseball is one of those. If you're watching it on TV, it's a sport for you to watch while you're doing something else.
sure.
it's
right.
it's not a sport on TV, especially.
It's,
I
yeah.
enjoy watching baseball games live, although I haven't done it for fucking ever. But
I will say that was the only time I really fully enjoyed a baseball game was
But
seeing it live.
on TV like that, and I don't even do this, but like it's a sport for you to watch while you're just doing just
Right.
to have it on while you're doing something, because it's the perfect one for that. Because you just okay, they did okay, cool, and then you just go back to doing what you're doing.
Well, yeah, because like when you're
you can't do that with like basketball. You're like, oh shit, oh shit,
right,
okay,
yeah.
they scored 10 points. How the fuck did that happen?
Well,
What-
when you're at a professional baseball game, something is happening at
Yeah.
any given time. You just don't see it on television. People are moving around. People are doing stuff.
yeah.
You know, you can
There's
see
also like the crowd and the way
the
that
crowd
they just
being
play
being
with
in
the
a crowd is very very much a different experience as well as and watching. Also, you don't have any commercials. There are breaks, but you don't really
Yeah.
feel it because they'll be like, "All right, it's time for Squishy the magic wonder snail to come out and do a dance or whatever during
Is
the."
this the Savannah Bananas?
Yeah, see, that might get me to watch baseball, but only that group. I said band. That group of people.
They sometimes play music. while
Yeah, I'm
they're-
sure they do.
One of my coworkers, they went to a Savannah Bananas game,
Mm-hmm.
and man, the process that they explain on getting the tickets is horrendous.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, when you basically take a minor league team and make them into an attraction, because that's what they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're basically like the Harlem Globetrotters of baseball. That's what they've turned them into.
Yeah, minor league games in general are try to be like a little bit extra.
You got to have some gimmick, man.
A lot of them.
Yeah.
I've heard that like those are like the most fun. I've only ever been to like a couple of
Right.
Braves games.
There's a
Back
guy
in the
that
day.
plays baseball on stilts.
Mhm.
Yeah, for the Savannah Bananas.
I mean, there's
right.
no real stakes in minor league, so they've got to do something.
Well,
I'll cut against that just a little bit. Like AAA, AA, those are people that are trying to get into the major.
Yeah,
leagues.
that's
Sure,
that-
if you're a young kid
then
and you're
There's
trying
no
to get
stakes for a specific
if
team,
you're-
but
if you're
not
winning-
as much
right.
stakes as for a specific team.
if
but there are.
you're like 20 and in the minor leagues, you're trying to make a name for yourself to get to the majors. Understood. If you're 35 or 40, no,
I
there's
mean,
no stakes for you. So, anyway,
All right.
I would argue that that's probably your twilight, and you're trying to like hold on to it and like also make a paycheck to try before you get
Well,
to
I
your
mean,
next
yeah,
phase.
th-
well,
there's
I
all-
mean,
everybody's
those are the
trying to make
stakes
it.
for
I
you.
think the stake. I think there's more
Right.
personal stakes, and I
Sure.
think there's, in minor league baseball
Right.
instead of team stakes in that. Let me get this little bit in because it's going to float in my head if I don't.
Sure.
Baseball, yes, is better live. Hockey for me also used to be better live, but with the advent of HD TV, where you could actually see where the puck
Sure.
is on the
Yeah.
screen, that's when I could sit back and watch a hockey game
Yeah.
at home.
Hockey is fun live.
Otherwise,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
it's still better live, but it's
Right.
now watchable on television.
Oh yeah, well that's what I was. That was another thing I was saying. It was like hockey, soccer, these kind of things where there's no they don't stop at any point during the game for the most part.
Yeah.
So also a little sad, because hockey it was really big in the 80s because like Wayne Gretzky and people punched each other a lot more. But it is what it is. Anyway,
Yeah. So Ted Lasso, it's a good show. I would strongly suggest watching it. I don't think it's worth necessarily getting Apple TV for it, but if you can get a good deal,
there's that
on
new
the-
Jason Momoa show coming out for Apple TV.
Sure. Yeah, I had heard that they had stopped at 3 seasons, but I'd also seen something that
Yeah,
was
they're firing up a 4th season.
there's a
right
4th
now.
season.
Yeah.
That's going to be interesting. I have no idea where this one's. It's very sitcom-y, so
Mhm.
that if you've watched a whole bunch of sitcoms, you can probably see where
it's
like
going.
where it's going. It doesn't like reinvent the wheel. It's just nice. It's just a good show. It's just a solid show. Great acting. It's well written. The characters are good. Yeah, I like it. It's I heard that the 3rd season wasn't as good, but maybe it goes somewhere. But like it hasn't gotten there yet, so I'm liking it. And then I want to talk about a few board games. Two I actually picked up pretty recently. One is Monumental Duel. I got to play this one because it was on sale for Prime Day. It's a 2-player only game, and there was a bigger game called Monumental, which is like a really, in my opinion, overproduced game where you play as like a civilization. It's like there's some dudes on a map stuff and big miniatures and stuff like that. And I'd heard good things about it, but then this came out and it's a very inexpensive 2-player only game
pared down.
that, from what I've heard from the reviews, is 90% of Monumental. So if you play this, you're pretty much playing Monumental just without you're missing a couple of things. But it's really cool. You have like each person has like a deck of cards. They start as a different civilization, and you have a lot of the same cards, but then you have some different stuff. You have a leader who does a warlord who does something different. And then you have these other cards that called I can't remember what they're called, but there's things that you can get during the game that give you different actions as well. Excuse me. But and it's kind of like a deck builder, but instead of like drawing cards into your hand, you draw them into a 3x3 grid. And then on your turn, you activate, you tap a column and a row, and those are the cards that you get to use. So some of them will have, okay, this will give you one of these resources. There's 3 different basic resources. It'll give you some resource. Some of them just lets you later in the next phase, with the action phase, take an action. So you put a token on it to just say, okay, I've taken this action. There's 3 different versions of them. I now have 2 of them where there's an extra module. Like the one that I played so far is the exploration module, where you have another card called a scout, which you can use them once per round, and just take the whatever the module is, you can take that action. It's a really cool game. I like it. You're just gathering cards. There's like a central place to buy cards. And when you buy them, they immediately go on top of your deck, so you can use. So they're going to come out next turn. There's different types of cards. It's a really cool game. I really enjoy it. It might end up being one of my favorite 2-player games. So that was good. I also bought Critter Kitchen. It was not on sale, but I found it, but it was a good price on Amazon. Although
From
it took
the
like,
folks, they brought you Flamecraft.
yeah, it took about 2 fucking weeks to get here. But yeah, Critter Kitchen. You are a restaurant in this like the whole setting is like anthropomorphic animals, but they all don't look necessarily exactly like they're animals. They're like they're kind of weird, but you're playing as a restaurant, and you're like basically competing in like it's like a week of like food challenges, and at the end of the week there's a critic meal that you have to serve to a specific critic who wants certain things or does certain things. And you have these locations in a city, and you have 3 workers that you send out to them, and they're different sizes. You have a mouse, a lizard, and a boar, and they're each like the mouse gets to pick first, but can only pick one thing, and because there's different ingredients that you're gathering for these different meals. Like you might have one meal that takes a fish, a bread, and a wine. That's the thing. And they're different values, so you're sending them out, and like I said, the mouse is really fast, but it can only hold one thing. The boar is going to pick last, but it can pick 3 things if there's still stuff there. But if people get all the stuff, then you kind of don't get anything. You're just trying to gather these ingredients because you're making 2 times you're making 3 challenge meals, and then at the very end you serve kind of a sampler platter to the critic, and you're just trying to get as much of the stuff as possible and get good ingredients. There's like spices that'll like double it if you pair it with the right type. It's a really interesting game. I liked it a lot. It seems to have a lot of like parallel play, so I don't think necessarily that it goes up to 5 players. If you get the expansion, it goes up to 7. I don't know if I'd ever played at 7, but I don't think at 5 it would necessarily even like add too much because you're doing everything at the same time. But it's a fun little game. I like it. It's very cute, and it's interesting. It's not a game that has a lot of mechanics that I've seen a lot. Because you're all secretly choosing where you're going to send your workers, so you don't know where the other people are sending the stuff. But it's cool, and they even give you like head chefs to play, and they're all like plays on actual like celebrity chefs. There's like Anthony Bourdain, spelled Boar, Martha Stewart, Julia Wilds.
I'm getting like dinosaur.
Is there a Guy Fieri?
There's not a Guy Fieri, but there's a Bobby Flay character. I can't remember what he's called. But they all give you like a special power that you can use.
I'm getting like dinosaur Tea Party vibes from like thematics. I mean, I'm sure it's not.
Yeah. It does kind of. It is like animals all dressed
Is there
up. But
Gordon Ramsay?
there is a Gordon Ramsay.
Is he a goat or
Yes.
ram? Yes.
Yes.
This game gets a 11 out of 10.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I can't remember who all. Guy Fieri isn't one of them, but there's a couple that I don't know all the
Because Fieri's
celebrities.
not a chef so much, but
Yeah.
he is a food personality.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's a lot of them. It's a pretty cool game. I'm really looking forward to trying playing it again. And then this past Sunday, I actually met some people. A couple of our friends, friend of the show Gomez, Lance, and Dallin, who are some people who have moved here recently, who have been playing games with us. We met at the Board Game Peddler Sunday, and we played Ostia, which is a very interesting game. I really enjoyed it. It is it's definitely, it's a Euro game, and it's kind of like trading in the Mediterranean. But the art
it's
style,
trading in the Aegean.
the art style is really interesting. But the cool thing is that the way you like gain different types of resources and then take actions is you have these little boats that are moving around a rondel, and you pick, and you have like it's like 6 sections, and you will pick up you'll choose one section, then for however many boats in that, it's connected to a certain type of resource and a certain type of action.
Mhm.
So you'll choose this section and say, okay, I'm going to pick up all of these. You'll get a resource for each boat that's in that section,
Mhm.
and then you will pick them up, and then Moncala style, one by one.
I was about to
drop
ask if
them-
there's any Trajan elements to
drop
this
them
game.
around. I literally said while we were playing this, I was like, Jody would like this game because he really likes Trajan.
Yeah.
And then wherever your last boat goes, that's where that's the action that you take.
Oh shit.
It's very interesting. It looks like a lot, but once you like understand
Sure.
what each of the actions
Right.
do and what you're actually trying to get done, because you have these boats that are out on the map, and you're just
Yeah.
moving down basically a track. There's like
Right.
5 tracks that you're moving down. There are locations,
Yeah.
and then you can build buildings on those locations, which let you use the abilities on those. But you're also getting resources for passing certain point.
Sure.
If you get all the way to the end, it gives you like certain places will give you like multipliers for having
Mhm.
certain things. There are cards that you're like spending resources on to get, so you can get these little I can't remember exactly what they're called. There's some kind of like thing that holds wine,
Mhm.
but they're worth points at the end of the game.
Okay.
The boat you have boats. You have like a little. You're putting more boats out.
Right.
You're putting your buildings out. All of this stuff kind of gives you points at the end of the game.
Yeah.
And everything's like multipliers. It's a
Mhm.
really, really interesting game. But what you're doing is pretty simple once you
Mhm.
understand the actions and everything. It's just the brain burning part is like figuring out how to get what you want.
Get to where you're
Because you
trying
kind
to-
of have to go, okay, I eventually want this. So
Yeah.
that means I have to do this action next turn. So that means but to do that, I have to do this action.
Yeah, it sounds like not comparably to mechanics, but comparably to like the amount of different mechanics that are going on. Reminds me of not just Trajan, but games like Terra Mystica,
Yeah.
where okay, like there's the immediate, I need to do this to get this effect,
Mhm.
but if I do that, I'm gonna miss out on this effect over here,
Yeah.
and I need to like figure out how to like narrow that down.
Oh, there's several times where I was like, okay, I'm going to do this action. And I was like, well, wait, shit.
Yeah.
I did that action but I wanted to do this action next turn. I can't do that. God damn it. So
Yeah.
you have to
Right.
to think almost like 3 steps ahead
Yeah.
to get to where you want.
Right.
And it's really, really brain burning and thinky. But
Yeah.
I really, really enjoyed that game. That was a really, really good game.
The thing like over time, like playing similar, at least mentally, games like that is like, but when you look at it for the first time, just don't become overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Don't become intimidated. It's not that serious.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you, like, typically after playing a couple of heavy games in a row, it should be like, okay, this is and then you see like Arc Nova
Yeah.
or like Yokohama or something, you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, especially Arc Nova, that's a very intimidating board
Yes.
to look at.
Yeah, it's got tons of stuff going on, and this one kind of looks like that. But like I said, once you get like the basic things of what you're trying to do done, like it's just figuring out how to get what you want. And like a lot of Euros, like you don't really affect other people on your turn, so you can like we were actually pretty quiet during the game because we were all sitting there
thinking.
on other people's turn because it didn't fucking matter what they did. So we're like, okay, I have to do this to do this, and then do this,
Man.
and I got to do this. But I need this many resources. So to get those resources, I need to do this.
Right.
But if I do this action lets me do 2 actions in a turn instead of just the one. So I could do this first and then do this. Like that's how it was the whole time. And like it didn't never feel, to me, it never felt overwhelming. It was just like, it was a puzzle that I enjoyed doing.
Right,
Like
of course.
it was a good game. I would strongly recommend.
That sounds like
this one.
a ton of fun if you like playing between medium and heavy. Or would you say it's on the heavier?
Yeah, it's probably
Per-
medium heavy. I think.
Per Board Game Geek, out of a weight of 5, they put it at a 303.
Mhm.
So at a medium weight game,
Yeah.
tinges very slightly towards higher,
Right,
higher,
yeah.
complexity.
But
Sure. Yeah. No, I can see
aesthetically,
that.
I actually liked it. I
Yeah.
liked it. There's a lot of like blues in there. Usually, these games will have a lot of like beige and brown.
Right.
But yeah, it's good. Very, very, very good game. Of the games I played, that's definitely my favorite.
And that one was called what again?
Ostia.
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 Yes. Published by Uchibakoya, Crafty Games, and Skellig Games. More likely Crafty Games, I believe, is the one that will be
Yeah.
publishing it here in the United States. Designed by Tatsuya Cho with art from Tetsuki Asano and Rosanate Urabe.
Did the designer have they done anything else? Was there another game maybe? That
Nothing that comes to mind for me.
yeah.
Like I have 6 games up here. I've got Ostia. It, right now, I think is probably their number one, produced in 2022.
Mhm.
Other games include Aqua Garden, Atlas
Aqua
Lost.
Garden, I've heard of that.
I've
one.
heard of it vaguely, but
I haven't
Atlas
played that.
Lost, Rise of the New Sovereigns, Perfumery, Sweetlands, and Torne.
Okay.
Sweetlands is also Lance said he's actually backing that game, so I'm actually more looking forward to that one.
Sweetlands comes out this year. It looks to be.
I think
right
it's-
now it's
it's-
at 8.1 on Board Game Geek.
Yeah, it's-
from the
it's-
reviews that have already gone there. The weight there jumps though to a 4.04. When
Yeah.
Board Game Geek starts putting it 4 or 5, I typically like okay.
Yeah, it does
That's a
look like
complex game.
Yeah, it looks like a much more complex game. And aesthetically, it was like when I was watching stuff about it, it looked a lot busier because Lance had talked about this game a while back, backing it. But now I'm actually looking more forward to playing it, having played this game. Hopefully that one's also good. But yeah, Ostia, I would definitely,
Yeah.
if you like a good and I think it's more of like it's definitely like a medium heavy, leaning towards the heavier
Right.
side, but it's not like it looks worse than I think it is. Because
Right.
once somebody explains like, okay, these are just the actions. that you do.
Sure. Also, if you have a heads up, watch a how to play video.
Yeah.
Those are also helpful sometimes, depending
Yeah.
on where
yeah, there's
you're
a lot of
watching.
people who do how to plays that are really, really good nowadays. So yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
I know you don't like it, but I just saw a Galaxy Trucker second edition has a new expansion called Galaxy Trucker. Do what? Like I love the title of that just absolutely because I think that
I don't like the only thing I mean, it's part of the game mechanics, but I just don't like being timed on picking up my stuff. That's
my favorite thing.
right.
Like yeah, it just
Sure.
it just is. It's one of the reasons.
I
it wasn't
think
my top
also
10.
for you, it's like I can see why you would like it a lot because you're more of a you like your games, in and out, specifically certain things that are going and the rigidly like specific rules and things like that. And that game is pure chaos.
Yes.
Yeah.
What I like about it is you have to make good decisions
Quickly.
as quickly as you
Yeah.
possibly can.
Yeah.
And I like the stress and the pressure of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it just gets to me every time. It's
Right.
one of the reasons why Escape the Curse of the Temples on one of my top 10s as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
All
it's
right.
exact opposite. Of
How about
what I
you?
Like,
For me, let's see this week. So I finished Suikoden 1,
Mm-hmm.
ended on a flat line.
Oh.
Disappointed
Okay.
horribly.
Okay.
I didn't get the best ending, so I went back and I watched a video about that got the best ending, and it's the same things except there's a few little tweaks. That was extremely disappointing.
I gotcha.
I appreciated that during the credit sequence they actually have the credits from the 1994 game in the original style,
Nice.
like the 16-bit,
Yeah.
and then they bring in the new team that worked on the remaster.
Gotcha.
So I appreciated that. I'm glad that they went back and gave credit and due to the people who created the game in the first place. That story was going great, and it fell off a fucking cliff.
Oh man.
That last final sequence was very 90s RPG. So
Yeah.
it part of me is like, can you really complain about this because that's what
Sure.
you're getting?
Right.
But yeah, the whole pacing of that final ending, that final stretch was just.
I'll have to get back with you when I finish it.
Yeah, that was my opinion on that. So I was kind of depressed about that. So I went looking. I've stopped the RPGs also for a little bit because that's how much of a bad taste that left in my mouth for me.
damn.
So I went on to Steam and I found that Stronghold Definitive Edition was on sale for like $5. So I went purchase, and that's great. If you've never played it, Stronghold is a cross between SimCity and Warcraft Orcs and Humans.
Oh.
In the fact that you have city building and all the like you have to manage your populations, like
Mhm.
food and where they're working and all the things
Yeah.
like that. And then every so often, bandits or fucking shit's coming to fucking destroy, or whole kingdoms are coming to destroy you. So I hope you built up your castle and lands.
That sounds like a early 2000s game.
I think it was like 2001, or it's between 2001
Yeah.
and 2004. The semi-sequel to it was Stronghold Crusader,
Mhm.
which is set in the Crusade times and literally in Jerusalem.
That
and around
sounds
that-
cool too.
Which is pretty awesome. Stronghold Extreme was a bit much because Stronghold, you could get like to maybe like a couple hundred and it's still not unwieldy.
Sure.
Stronghold Extreme is 10,000. You're in charge of 10,000.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah, that's where I'm like, no, I
Yeah.
have to draw the line here.
That's
because
too many.
The line is splitting me in half.
That's too
and I
many.
can't
That's
do
too
that.
many.
I can't do that. It's
Yeah.
just, it's not
Even
fun.
even in the even in the 4X games, if you're controlling like 1,000 guys, you're controlling like a block of 1,000 guys. You know, you're not controlling like literally 1,000 guys.
Unless it's something like Masters of Orion, which
Sure,
that's a whole that's
a different bag.
properly 4X.
Yeah.
And so you're expecting the complexity there. But so far I'm enjoying getting back into Stronghold. I had it on disc years and years
Yeah.
ago.
I
And-
never heard of it.
It's great. It's
Yeah.
great. Like
'Cause I
it's
wasn't-
a PC only thing, and it's
Right.
the definitive edition. So the visuals are updated.
Right.
They've got quality of life for controls. Bugs have been removed. The audio is great. One of the things I love, like when you put in your name at the beginning,
Right.
like whenever you load the game up, it's like, welcome back, Lord James. And it's like, oh, that's very good.
That's
if you
nice.
put in Megadeth, you go, welcome back, Megadeth. It's great. It's great.
I missed the mid 90s to mid 2000s PC boom because I was mainly just a console
fair.
gamer because affordability and just availability.
That was a golden era for strategy and strategy like
Oh
games,
yeah,
because
like
you
I got
had
to play all the ports. I got to play the Command and Conquers and the early Warcraft games that were ported to PlayStation 1.
Yeah, because that stretches Warcraft 1 and 2. Also, if we go mid 90s to mid 2000s, you have Warcrafts 1, 2, and 3.
Mm-hmm.
StarCraft, you have Command and Conquer and the Command and Conquer Red Alert series. You
Right.
had Homeworld, which is arguably the best story, like the original Homeworld
Mhm.
is the best story ever in an RTS, in my opinion, from pacing and
Right.
like they knew what they were doing with the gameplay,
Right.
and it perfectly paced with the story. It was absolutely amazing.
You get
But, yeah.
you get like you get like the console. You get the original Sims port. You get like like some of the Command and Conquer games. Most of them got ported to the PlayStation. And
The original Command and Conquer got ported to the N64, and it was weird and strange.
yeah, it was also on the PlayStation 1, and it was not weird and strange, and it was really good, as well as both the first and second Warcraft game, as well as another handful of PC ports that made it to the PlayStation. But when they got to the 2, they kind of stopped doing that for the most part. So,
Well, RTS is kind of stopped for the most part.
well,
which
I
is
mean,
sad.
just PC games in general. It started becoming more like on the other end of it, where you would have like games that were on console that would start to get ported to PC. But hey, that's a show topic for another time
But
period.
Specifically, though, real-time strategy games have kind of fallen by the wayside.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
the remasters are where we're getting like they. I have like as soon as the Homeworld, I've learned of the Homeworld remaster, Homeworld 1 and 2. I bought
Yeah.
that immediately.
Yeah.
Just because of just how solid. Like Homeworld 2's gameplay is solid. The story got a little away from itself.
Mhm.
Homeworld 1 is just. I would almost first of all, let me just a quick review of Homeworld 1. It gets my strongest recommendation. It's something that should be played by everybody.
Yeah.
It's not so complicated that nobody can't, or like that everybody can't. Like you can play it up until there.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's that. Also, the thing I was telling you about that I forgot about. Stop Killing Games made 1.3 million signatures, which means barring insult or injury, it's going to go towards the European Union. If you don't know what Stop Killing Games is, it is a consumer-driven initiative that is set before the European Union to discuss and hopefully make laws for live service games that the publisher or the developer doesn't want to continue developing and they want to stop. It allows for an end-of-life system afterward to allow people who paid for the games in order to keep playing the games.
Right.
If you had to take a guess, don't have to take a guess anymore. I'm in full support of it, even though I cannot sign the petition as I'm
Right.
a citizen of the European Union. The same petition is also going on in England right now. Of course, Great Britain is outside of the European Union,
Right.
but I think it is well worth it. I think it is being done with the best of intentions. Obviously, the road to hell is paved that way, but I do
Right.
believe that at least from this start of it, I think this could lead to something I think very good for games. And
I
gaming
hope
in
so
general.
too, because like going back, at least in the States, we had like before Warcraft had vanilla WoW, you could play on Warcraft. You had to play it on a private server, and litigation and things like that. But hopefully that'll be a thing. Because there are some games that are peer-to-peer server anyway. So
What amazed me is in that time period how many companies thought the multiplayer was the afterthought. Like you have that for Warcraft because that was from the Play Nice book.
yeah,
But also GoldenEye 007, the multiplayer was put in as like, oh, we got to have a multiplayer.
right,
And it's the thing probably everybody remembers
Yeah.
most from that.
exactly.
So yeah. But yeah, so that is it for me, and that is it for us for this previous week. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being passengers on the bus. If you'd like to leave feedback on this or any of our previous episodes, travelers on the omnibus at gmail.com. Again, that is travelers, 1L on the omnibus at gmail.com. Jody, wherefore art thou they may contact and or connect with us?
Spotify.
Spotify, yes. Take part.
Verily.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've been playing a lot of Stronghold. I don't know if I told you about that. But yeah, no, take part in any
Come
of our
hither.
active polls on this or any of our previous episodes, and also leave comments on any of our episodes that you've listened. Even if you haven't listened to, leave a comment that says yes. Just the word yes, and we won't even know what you're talking about, but it'll be fun. Well, ladies and gentlemen, again, thank you for being passengers on the bus. If you'd like to share this experience with other people, but they don't listen to podcasts on the same things you listen to podcasts on, we are available on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, YouTube Music through our YouTube channel, Travelers on the Omnibus, and iHeartRadio. Gentlemen, the temperature is about to go up about 200 degrees. Let's see what we can do about it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. So, we decided we wanted to open us up to criticism and ridicule, and we have started. This could have been a bus fight episode, like back in the early seasons.
This might be
Just
a
about.
bus fight.
This might be a
episode.
bus fight. I have to find the bus fight song that you did and maybe play it right here. If it played or not, who knows? But we're gonna find out. But ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be giving you our personal hot takes in the world of pop and or nerd culture. And we're going to see what you think about this. This is one where we're definitely asking you for feedback. We definitely want to hear back from you for what you think about ours, and perhaps provide your own hot takes as well. Everybody's going to present their hot take, and then we're going to take some time to debate it and or kill each other. We're going to find out. It might be fun or otherwise. I will lead off. This is one that you guys have probably both, definitely everyone around this table, but specifically to y'all, you might have heard me say this before. But The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, is a bad, awful movie. It is below scum. It has pacing issues that go beyond boredom. It has no stakes because there's a third movie that you know is coming up, which is not necessarily the movie's fault. I will stipulate that. But because you know they're going to make it through to that third one, there is nothing at risk in the second one. The epic fight scene takes too fucking long and becomes boring halfway through. None of the characters are compelling because, again, the stakes aren't there to make me give a damn about them. The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers is the nadir of Peter Jackson's career, and that includes the King Kong movie, which I also despise.
Yeah, the King Kong movie was just too goddamn long, but
Yeah, very true. Also suffer from pacing issues.
Yeah,
The King Kong, that's the 2005.
Five.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that
had a video game.
We've
too.
talked about this. I strongly disagree. Two Towers is my favorite one of them. I will be on, like, I've never heard you the thing about the stakes, so that's a new thing for me. And if you want to bring that up, then I think that you could probably argue that for every middle movie in a trilogy. Every middle movie in a trilogy.
I would agree with that. The one that I would give the exception to is The Empire Strikes Back when it first premiered. because you weren't sure what that third movie was going to
If there was going to be a third movie.
Yeah.
Well, then
Trilogies
you could
weren't
also
really-
argue that for this one, because if you didn't read the books and you didn't know what was going to happen, you didn't know anything that was you didn't know what was going to come out of any of that.
because there was already press about the third movie, and basically everyone that is in 2
Mhm.
makes it into 3.
It's the same thing with 2
With,
and with The Empire Strikes Back.
yes, but you didn't know that at the time. Like,
But you didn't know that at the time. Like, if you did
you
not
did-
read the books and you didn't know about it, this is
No, but-
before.
no,
this is also before the internet. So,
see,
like,
but
everybody was like in everybody's brain, so we all knew all the
let it
before stuff.
everybody knew that there was going to be a third movie with all these people.
I don't
in
think
there.
you can say that.
Yes,
don't
I
think-
can specifically
I do
because
not
of
think
the
that
internet.
You can, no, the internet was not as big in 2000 in the early 2000s as it is now.
You can
in
say-
telling you things that happened before,
You can-
like
you-
leaks and shit like
you,
that.
you can say whatever you want. I can say that if you're 12 years old, not that I was, but there were probably plenty of 12-year-old kids that went to see the first and second movie and didn't know there was going to be a third movie and probably cried their eyeballs out. I mean, that's just,
There's some part of my mind that believes that there are people that genuinely did not know if there was going to be a third movie.
Okay,
It-
no,
it-
they knew that was the fact that the trilogy was being filmed was part of the whole.
I
press
didn't know
of everything.
the trilogy was being filmed all at the same time.
How couldn't you? It was every
I
fucking way.
didn't. I
But
didn't.
and this isn't just internet. This
That's-
is like news, internet, like
Okay.
entertainment, and all these things. Like,
I didn't
how
watch
could you
all
not
any of
know
that shit.
That's
Like,
insane to me.
yeah, I didn't.
So, yeah.
yeah. So if it's possible for me, then it's possible for other people. Like, that's the thing. I think that the Two Towers was the most difficult one because it is the way the Lord of the Rings was written was it was written as one whole thing and then almost arbitrarily like separated out into 3 different books. So the Two Towers book is the most difficult one because it is just the middle section of a story that has been pulled out. And I think personally that Peter Jackson did a really fucking good job with it. I feel like Helm's Deep is a really good battle, whereas the Pelennor Fields one, that takes too goddamn long and it's like 15 different parts to that fucking battle. So,
The initial impact of Helm's Deep is so far away from where it ends. That's almost a 2-hour fucking. I hate it. I hate it so fucking much. Like everything about that. Like the one guy, fucking Legolas. The fact Legolas doesn't stop that bomb makes like it.
that is a silly part, but then otherwise,
But also I shouldn't think that way because I'm supposed to invest in
Yeah.
the drama. But that fight goes on. So just end it. Like I'm literally in
that part is silly, but then also if that didn't happen, then it would be like watching a siege battle is boring as fuck. So like something has to change.
Yes. And
in
Peter
the
Jackson has
battle.
proven watching a broken siege battle is fucking boring as fuck.
I do not.
Wait,
at
let me
all.
hold up my giant 15,000 lumen flashlight AK wizard staff. Oh, the fight's over.
Well, it's not the wizard staff didn't do it. It was him getting the people to charge the ranks, which is damn near exactly what happens in the next movie.
Yeah.
Like it's a charge from behind, and then another charge from ghosts from the other side. Like that's how the battles end. Like they're not like super like well thought out war battles. They're thought out to be fucking a story. So you can make it however you want. But yeah. I will say a little mini thing. I find the Lord of the Rings books, like the actual 3 books that are the Lord of the Rings, to be boring as shit. It's like reading parts of Genesis in the Bible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Whereas I do really like how The Hobbit is written, and it's because it's written for children, I guess. But it's written more interestingly than the rest of the Lord of the Rings. Again, it feels like reading parts of Genesis.
I feel the same way. Not initially. Robert Jordan's the first 3 books in
Wheel of Time.
in the Wheel of Time are very good.
Mhm.
But when you get to that middle half, which I'm pretty sure is where he died like spiritually and mentally before his body passed on. Path of Daggers is just too long a fucking book, and it feels like I couldn't finish it, and that's where I stopped in the entire series. That that is the first book series where I just said no, I'm done with this. I've done that with several others afterward.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can get that where it's like the written word, if it's it doesn't have to be like a fucking like karate fight every other page, but like at least let's move the plot along, and sometimes those can get very plotting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I will say I'm not saying this to forgive it or exclude it. I think he's still building the world, so he's taking time to build the world. But I think once it's sufficiently built, you can let the imagination of the reader take it from there.
Yeah.
And I don't think Tolkien allows you to do
Well,
that.
yeah, because he was a fucking linguist and he was a teacher and he wanted to teach you this shit. He didn't want you.
Yeah.
He didn't want you to imagine. This is the shit that I fucking wrote, motherfuckers.
Once again,
You shall witness this.
Yeah.
once again, I was accused of witchcraft for reading these books.
Oh, okay.
And J.R.R. Tolkien was a devout Roman Catholic in England.
Ethan, do you know what
Devout
J.R.
Roman
Tolkien? Well,
Catholic.
no. Do you know what J.R.R. stands for?
I feel like I knew this like years ago, but it's like a distant memory.
It stands for
For
Jolkin, Rolkin, Tolkien.
There's
And with that, I pass it on to you, Brady, for the next hot take. No. Brady's next. Suss it.
No,
Suss it.
You got
Rolkin.
Rolkin,
Yeah.
Tolkien. Move on.
It's
Okay.
Wikipedia. Look it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It's also on his MySpace page.
I'm gonna start out with the one the one that I think is really hot. I think only one person might have a problem with it, and I'm gonna try not to be too insulting about that one. But I'm gonna start with. But I think it's gonna be like my hottest of takes. Maybe not to some people, but I'm gonna start with the other one. The changes that Lucas made, 95% of them in the original trilogy are either good to okay. Like most of them, I don't have a problem with almost, especially the original changes that happened in 98, that he did in 98 for those re-released, the special editions. I don't mind them. That includes the change to Han and Greedo. To me personally, I know a lot of people get upset about it. I don't think that ruins the character or anything like that. I think there are plenty more actions in that movie that tell you his character. That is a really good introduction, but it doesn't, but changing that a little bit doesn't break the character. He still fucking murders a dude damn near in cold blood, but it still shows he's a cold motherfucker. He's just not quite as cold. But almost every single one of them, most of them like just cleaned up some special effects. Like they were like in the first one when they were using the land speeder, they just rubbed fucking grease on the lens so you couldn't see the fucking wheels. Like they fixed that. I know a lot of people are mad about some of the musical scenes that they add in Return of the Jedi. I'm fine with them. I think that the change to the Wampus in Empire Strikes Back is actually way better because you actually see a whole fucking thing instead of a hand puppet. The only thing, and this wasn't in the original special editions. I wish they would have just stayed with those. The only thing that I don't like, that viscerally makes me upset, is when he added Hayden Christensen as the Force Ghost instead of Sebastian Stan. It's Sebastian Stan, right?
That's
Sebastian.
the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, no.
Stan.
It's
Shaw.
Sebastian
I think
Shaw.
Sebastian Shaw.
Yeah, I knew it was an S.
Yeah.
It's been a really long time since I've read about Star Wars stuff. Instead of like how he would have been as an old person, which is how he died. That's the only part that pisses me off, because nobody else turned into their young version as a Force Ghost. Obi-Wan didn't become fucking Ewan McGregor when he became a Force Ghost. And it can be argued that Darth Vader died that he became Anakin Skywalker before he died. That's why he became a Force Ghost.
Right.
That's the only part that really pisses me off. And it would be not as bad if Hayden Christensen didn't have this date rapey look on his face as a Force Ghost. But other than that, all the other changes, I really don't have a problem with. In fact, I prefer them almost.
I didn't mind the first changes. It's that he kept making changes
that is
after the
over
fact.
and over. Yeah.
And
That
it's
is
like,
what
and,
annoyed me.
Like, I want to have the option to see the original theatrical release.
That is also,
Yeah.
I do
I would
get
like to
people's
have that,
frustration with that.
But I agree with you that I do think the re-releases, I think, cleaned up a lot of visuals.
Yes.
I think they made them. I think it improved the pacing. I
Mhm.
think it improved the look of the movie.
Yeah.
The one, and this is so nitpicky, but when R2-D2 is hiding in the cave after
Mhm.
the Sand People attack,
Yeah.
there's no physical way he could fit into after they added all those digital rocks.
Yeah.
But that is
Was
more
that
of a-
one that was in the original ones, or
no,
was that
I think
later?
I think he kept adding rocks to that.
Yeah.
And that's the only one that,
That-
in my head
That
that I look
annoys
at that
me
and go
because it's like,
it's something that my brain sees and then it finally translates into my, like, something's not right about this.
Mhm.
And I don't, there's a time in a movie where there's something not right about this
Yeah.
because they want you to, like, there is something not right and we want to impress that on the,
Mhm.
but this is like, this is just a thing that's happening and I don't think it's real,
yeah.
which you never want to go
Yeah,
there
that's a bad
in a
thing.
movie.
I do
So-
get that sentiment, and that part does annoy me where you kept going back and adding. They even like fucking add this weird sound effect when Han does shoot Greedo, like, and this was Disney that did this when they put it on Disney Plus. Like,
You mean the McClunky?
the McClunky?
Yeah,
Like
McClunky.
it's like the because I can wrap my head around and I can understand. Okay, I wasn't able to fulfill my vision at this point, but the technology is to a place where I can do that, and I want to do that, and I can understand that one time changing the stuff. But yeah, the constantly going back and, like you said, adding more rocks, or we're gonna change up. I think they changed up the Han shooting Greedo scene like 3 or 4 different times where it does something different, slightly every single fucking time. But the constantly going back, I can understand that is annoying, and that's where we get the fucking Hayden Christensen Force Ghost, which also super fucking annoys me. But yeah, everything else, like I think that they improved it for the better. I see. I can't remember if I've talked about this on the show or not, but my daughter recently got into Star Wars and she's watching like as much Star Wars shit as she can. And I don't like that she can't watch any older version of the original trilogy. I would like her to go back to, my preferred version, which is the special editions. But, even like not having any of that really annoys me too. Like I wish she could have saw the original trilogy.
For sure.
Because like those versions, and then especially the original uncut versions are almost impossible to find. Like it's just
the only way
not
you're gonna find them is if you're super lucky is stumble across a copy of the VHS.
Yeah.
Before, because it was released on VHS about 3 different times before the remasters.
Yeah.
The last time was like in the late 80s to early 90s. I have a copy of Empire I found at a thrift store for $1. Lucky that I got that. But there is that, and then that's it. Like that. Or if you have a copy of it on Laserdisc, which is probably like $200-$300 if you have it. Which is
It was probably $200 or $300
Right.
back then.
There was a
is-
very rare, like the very first time I think that the original trilogy was put on DVD. There was they had the special edition, and then they had on like the extra disc. There was like the uncut, the original 1970s, versions of those.
right.
And that's the only time that
They did
the
that.
original ones were ever.
They
on.
also did that on tape as well. When I was working at Blockbuster in the late 90s, before the prequels came out, before they were even in production, they released 2 different versions of the trilogy on tape. There was a silver version and the gold version. The silver version was just an HD, basically, like not HD, but at the time, HD remastered restoration version of the original trilogy
Yeah.
without anything added, and the gold version was the added shit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I
And
had
the
the
silver
gold
version was like $60, and the gold version was like 80 or something
Yeah.
like that.
I had the gold version of
Mhm.
those.
All right. We will now move on. Jody, your first hot take.
All right. Well, this movie, it's just a movie. I lived through this, so you have to understand that there is some built up anger and passion towards why I dislike it so much.
Mhm.
Because I was around 10 years old, and even though I grew up in a very hardcore satanic panic Pentecostal household, still had my grandmother's house,
Mhm.
still had options of being able to see television and, you know, go out into the wild and see toys in the toy stores and things like that, and had friends that actually had access to this stuff all the time. So I wasn't able to avoid the juggernaut that was this film. I hate it. For me personally, it's the worst movie ever made.
Mm.
But, you know, pop culture loved it.
Mhm.
They just couldn't get enough of it. It almost practically killed the video game industry.
Hmm.
And that's E.T. Fuck that movie. That movie fucking
damn.
sucks. I was 10. I got to see it at a friend's house. That was the most boring piece of shit I'd ever seen in my entire life.
Damn.
Of course, you're going to say I'm heartless. I was 10. I was not entertained. I didn't enjoy any moment of it. I didn't go, ooh, look at the special effects. I didn't enjoy any moment of that movie, and it was a slog. You want to talk about pacing? It has horrible pacing, and I'll tell you this. I went back about 10 years ago and tried to watch it again. Maybe I just didn't like it because I was 10. No, I still fucking hate that movie.
Damn.
It fucking sucks. It's the worst movie Steven Spielberg has ever made, and I like AI versus that movie. That movie can go fucking die on a fire. I hope it dies twice.
Damn. That was British GQ's
Yeah, I was about, yeah.
number one best ending of all time.
Fuck that movie. And here's the thing.
No. Because Brady did this as a thought experiment, and so it's like guess the list or guess anything on the list. I'm like, okay, Empire Strikes Back, not on the list.
Yeah.
What were some any of the original Star Wars trilogy, not on the list.
Nope.
Uh-huh.
There was one specific one that I said that I can't remember now.
I can't remember either.
And then I just started listing off movies that had started with the letter I, and Inception was on the list.
Inception was on the list. It was
Nice.
like 8. Yeah.
Interstellar.
Not on the
Interstellar's
list.
Not on the list.
I mentioned that one.
Here's the thing. So have you seen E.T.?
Yes, I've seen E.T. I love E.T.
It's literally the first
Yeah.
two letters of his name.
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah, I love E.T. as well.
You have seen E.T.?
I am neither plus nor minus by ET.
Right.
I like it more as an American cultural touchstone than I do as a movie.
Yeah.
I understand that. You could say that about a lot of Steven Spielberg.
Spielberg movies, blockbuster movies in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is why they're hot takes. All right. So here's the thing. Before E.T.,
Mhm.
2 years prior, I got to watch another sci-fi movie 2 years prior
Oh, Mac and Me.
that had that's like the 90s, sir.
Alien. It was what a heartwarming story, except your heart is worn by
He
acid.
just wanted to give you a hug.
Yeah, that's all he did.
That's a different story. I did watch Alien way too young. No.
John Carpenter's The Thing.
82.
That's 82. The same year.
That
was what
that
killed
was-
E.T.
that was-
killed John Carpenter's The Thing. That's another reason why I hate that movie.
Now I want a fighting Mugen. Get on this. I
can
want
just
ET
see
versus
Steven
the thing.
Spielberg rubbing his hands. This is gonna fuck that John Carpenter up.
I don't care how good his fucking synth work is.
There's another movie that I watched a year or 2 years prior. That was like 8 or 9. And as a child, I shouldn't have liked it at all because it had adult themes. There was, people were missing. There was long, drawn out things that were happening. But then the aliens show up and they have a musical chorus.
Oh.
Yeah, Close Encounters of a Third Kind. That was my first sci-fi movie I ever saw.
Huh.
That's why I thought E.T. was a piece of shit.
Huh. Okay. Yeah. To me, I mean, they're just doing different things.
But as a child,
But only one had Richard Dreyfuss.
So of course, I
true.
was born like
And
I
mashed
was born in
potatoes.
1986. So
Sure.
like by the time I remember watching ET, it was already like well into the conscious. It was like the early 90s when
Sure.
I actually remember watching it.
right.
But yeah, that shit was delightful. I watched that with my kids. My daughter always flipped back and forth between really loving the movie and being absolutely terrified by ET. I never could understand which one it was. To this day I don't know exactly how she feels about the movie.
I can agree with that sentiment of enjoying the movie, but also thinking E.T. is absolutely.
I mean, when you think about it, he is
disgusting California raisin.
Yes.
with
My
a very long neck.
mother called him a cat turd with eyes.
I mean, you're not far off.
Also, it was crammed. Like people, like this is where at the very early age I hated a lot of pop culture.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't even get to experience it fully. I was sheltered as fuck, but I hated Pet Rocks and E.T. because they shoved that shit down my fucking throat.
I mean, hey, E.T. is
I'm
canonically in the
clipping.
Star
I'm
Wars
clipping. I
universe.
hated Pet Rocks and E.T. I'm clipping that right now.
But yeah,
Fucking E.T. ever like, the E.T. dildo finger that lights up. The fucking E.T.
I think you had to wait. I think you had to pay COD and wait 4 to 6 weeks for delivery
yeah.
for that one.
That one came in discreet packaging.
Yeah. You had it was just a blue screen with yellow. This is the phone number you call, and there you go.
Man,
It said phone home. And also, it didn't stay on the shelves for very long.
Jody's just gonna have his own page.
That's what
of-
happens when you mix modern sensibilities with historical afterthinking.
Yeah. Reese's Pieces, okay, they were okay. Yeah, they
I
were
like
fine.
Reese's Pieces.
I have to imagine something. There's a frustration with not being able to connect with something that's going on all around you.
Yeah.
Do you think that there's something there in that?
It was in my face and it wasn't around me the whole time. Like anytime I was over at a friend's house, there was a commercial for anything to there was a Coca-Cola commercial. They're flying on their fucking bicycles, drinking Coca-Cola or some shit, eating Reese's Pieces. It was just like E.T., 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 E.T.
See, by the time it got to me, like it was like around 10-ish years
it
old.
was
So
dead.
it was already
the Atari 2600 game
wasn't,
killed it.
It wasn't dead. It was just in the popular culture now. Like it was just, okay, here's E.T.
And then 3 years later, the videotape comes out, and they're like, "Rent VT, VT on home video." Yeah, the ET.
I rented the shit out of E.T. on
I'm
home
looking
video.
up at the ceiling to where are the clouds? Where are the clouds he's yelling at right now? And I'm the person closest to you on this as far as it, because like again, I neither love nor hate E.T.
I hate it.
I
Yeah.
appreciate what it represented for movies, especially in the 80s. But like I said, I can neither be on board nor am I against you on that one.
See, to me, E.T. is just really good about, like, it shows how good Spielberg is at making a movie with kids as like the central figures. Like just the fact that like there's no like 90% of the adults besides the mom is like none
Sure.
of, you never see their faces. It's always either obscured or
Sure.
it just cuts them off. Like the way it centers on the children and the way he's able to like speak to children is very impressive to me. And this is as an adult thinking about
Right,
it.
as a film
But,
historian, I
but as
understand the same
as
thing.
even as a child, like I fucking love the shit out of E.T.
I hated it.
Yeah.
As a lover of film, I understand the cultural significance. However, the cultural significance at the time was fucking annoying to me
Yeah.
because
I mean, it's just the same as like people will. I'll hear somebody, this fucking song sucks because I hear it on the radio all the time. I was like, well, I don't have the radio. I
More so
didn't even own
overexposure
ET.
to
We
it.
had to rent that shit. So I got to see it like every once in a while.
just to have like a counterbalance real quick. So back in the early days of HBO, they would show the same 4 movies 20 times in a day. I watched Back to the Future 6 times a day for a whole month and didn't get tired of it. So overexposure has nothing to do with it.
I think for you, it's not overexposure
Yeah.
of the specific movie. It's
I
overexposure
think it's
of
overexposure.
culture.
It's in the popular
Yeah,
I
culture.
think it's
so
overexposure to the after effect.
Yeah, it's
And not being able to-
things
yeah.
outside
Well,
of the movie.
before and after effect.
But
Because
also Back to the Future is a better movie than E.T.
Also, they didn't going back. If you go back and look,
And it's a movie
I mean,
that
E.T.
involves
wasn't trying to not bone his mom, so I mean, how is that better?
it's a movie that involves time travel, Back to the Future.
Yeah.
That works.
Yeah.
That's so rare.
Also,
that is so rare.
Also, marketing. This movie was like the first big marketing movie that I think they ever did.
Yeah,
at the time.
I think of Spielberg's movies. It was the first one to get really.
They had some fucking gas
heavily
behind it.
marketed. It's also the first one to really show like product placement. Like, that's a
yeah.
thing.
There's a cartoon. There's a political cartoon about it, and it's E.T. holding sacks of cash, and Gandhi sitting next to him holding every Oscar that ever was, because that
Right.
was the
Right.
Yeah, one
We
one
talked
was-
about 82. Yeah.
Yeah.
because that was what a year in
Yep.
movies just in
Yeah.
general. All right, Ethan, you're up to bat.
Good luck.
Shinedown's the best band of all time. There we go. I've already cut him out. We're good to go. No.
I thought about doing a Shinedown one, but I went against it.
Low hanging fruit.
For us.
All right, here we go.
Andrew Garfield's portrayal of Spider-Man is the best on film adaptation of Spider-Man. Tobey Maguire acting as Peter Parker in Spider-Man feels too awkward and unnatural for me to believe that he actually is Spider-Man. Tom Holland, a lot of the times when he's in acting as Spider-Man, feels like he cries and whines a lot about it before he actually like matures up and towards the later half of the movie and actually takes care of business. Andrew Garfield is to me the perfect portrayal of Peter Parker as the person and also as Spider-Man, with the quippy remarks back to villains, back and forth, and just overall attitude of the character itself.
The problem with Spider-Man, if you're, I understand your hot take. I get it. I get it. But the issue is that's a different Peter Parker. The comic books have multiple different kinds of Peter Parkers. For example, Andrew Garfield, that's the Amazing Spider-Man with Gwen Stacy. Tobey Maguire is in actual, the first, iteration of Spider-Man-ish, whatever, movies and in comic books. I see what you're saying, and you can definitely have a favorite. However, I humbly disagree with, that aspect of it, because here's the thing. That's another problem with Spider-Man. Some Spider-Men, some Peter Parkers, I should say,
Spidersmen.
some Spider-Men are high schoolers, and high schoolers and teenagers typically are whiny and going through all kinds of already issues anyway. And then you have the adult Peter Parker that is in college and working for the paper. And he's a little bit more mature. He comes off as a little bit more, knowledgeable about the world. That's because the character itself is older. So I see where you're coming from, but I humbly disagree.
So my thoughts on it are Andrew Garfield was not a bad Spider-Man. He was in atrocious Spider-Man movies.
That is also true.
He is good. I think he is good as Spider-Man. Tobey Maguire is good as Peter Parker. There are some awkward things about Tobey Maguire as actual Spider-Man with the suit on, even though I still think he's good. I think they both do good. And I think Tom Holland is the best balance, even though like he's not as good as either one of those two in each role. He's just a better balance of each of those. Also, until this new movie that's fucking coming out, Tom Holland hasn't actually gotten to actually be fucking Spider-Man, because he's had to deal with fucking huge, gigantic fucking threats every single, like, Homecoming was like the closest he got to like a down to earth story, and even that was like like so connected to fucking Iron Man and the Avengers that like it was like
the first person Tom Holland's Spider-Man has to fight is Captain fucking America.
Yeah.
That's man.
Yeah, we don't even see that motherfucker fighting burglars.
Yeah.
He starts it fucking fighting Captain America. He's brought in to fight other Avengers. Like, so we haven't yet actually got to see him be Spider. They basically made 3 movies to get him to Spider-Man. And they had to bring fucking Doctor Strange and magic into it to do that. So maybe
Oh,
with
by the
this-
way, the next Spider-Man movie, Hulk's in it.
Yeah.
yeah.
Why does Hulk
For
have
some
to be
reason,
in
even
this?
though it's supposed to be starting over with Spider-Man, Hulk's in it because we can't.
No,
stop doing-
I keep hearing things like it's going to be street level. How is Hulk street
Yeah.
level?
There's in no universe is Hulk.
I'm hoping
street
things
level.
have changed because from what I heard with like Fantastic Four, they kind of took out literally everything that has to do with like multiverse and all this. Like Fantastic Four takes place in its own fucking timeline. I think they eventually like get into the regular timeline, but it starts in
That's been teased in Thunderbolts.
it starts in its own fucking world where like this is just where the Fantastic Four are and nothing else happens. Like they've done most of their adventures. But yeah, I don't think Andrew Garfield, and I think he proved in the No Way Home that he is good at portraying Peter Parker and Spider-Man. I don't think I don't think that because I don't think any of them are like the best at it, because I think that there are some things lacking in each of the on-screen recent modern portrayals.
I think that's
of
another reason why,
Spider-Man.
like, Spider-Man is. I don't want to turn this into a debate about Spider-Man, but I think that's one of the reasons why Spider-Man is so, compelling as a character, because 99% of the time you're actually dealing with Peter Parker and not Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Spider-Man is like, just the catalyst to get to more Peter Parker drama most of the time. Like, for example, like in the Tobey Maguire movies, when he's like, in this, I think it's the second one, when he's on the ceiling and Willem Dafoe walks
That's
in.
the first one.
That's
This is the first one. Willem Dafoe walks in and the blood drips and there's like all that tension or whatever. That's him trying to hide his identity.
Yeah.
That's Peter Parker in fear. That's not Spider-Man.
Yeah. Yeah.
So my take, Jody humbly disagreed with you. Allow me to proudly disagree with you. Andrew Garfield is the worst of those 3 Spider-Men. To me, by far, by every metric, he is the absolute worst. And I still think he does a good job. But it's just, I think Tom Holland, I think the plucky high school going into college student, Peter Parker.
He's the
Perfect
only
there.
one of them that feels like a fucking high school.
That's
student.
true. That's true
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, even though Tobey Maguire they started in high school, but no,
Tobey
no
Maguire
one-
looks like he was wearing a toupee some of those times.
Tobey Maguire looks like he dropped out of high school.
Yeah.
Tobey Maguire at the start of a scene, by the end of it, has a 5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah.
That's my. That said, Tobey Maguire to me is a perfect balance of both, and he was and still is the best Spider-Man in my opinion. That we can disagree with, we will disagree with that topic.
This is why this episode is called Hot Takes.
Hot takes, yeah, no.
Tobey Maguire's fault as Spider-Man, I think, is that he looks too stocky as Spider-Man, whereas Garfield pulls off the lankiness that I think is the best part. Is like the thing that sets Spider-Man usually apart from most other heroes is that he's not built like a brick shit house. He's
I think that was also a choice. Like Maguire wanted to buff up for the role,
Yeah.
like because he was like,
because he had that fucking shirtless scene, and he
I don't
wanted
want
to
to
show
be a nerdy looking dude. Let me buff up.
Yeah, yeah.
My counterpoint to that is just pure opinion. Maguire is pitch perfect, and Andrew Garfield's portrayal has significant flaws that for me, but again, even then, with those flaws, I think he's too cocky as Peter Parker. I think he's too timid as Spider-Man. We will be here
Yeah,
in another
that's
hour.
I agree on that's the
Yeah,
reason why I don't
that's
think
fair.
he's as good of a Peter Parker is because he's super like cocky,
And that's where I kind of fall on that one. So I proudly disagree with you on that
Yeah.
one.
Hence why Hot Takes.
We're rolling up again. My second hot take: the most overrated actor in the history of Hollywood is Leonardo DiCaprio.
Knew that was coming.
Yep.
Leonardo DiCaprio is a fine actor. I think you can put him in a role and you will get a good performance, but with the exception of one performance, I have never been wowed overly impressed or moved by anything he's ever been in. I think he is an also ran in Gangs of New York, where Daniel Day-Lewis absolutely,
Oh, yeah.
absolutely
I mean,
steps
yeah,
all over him.
I mean,
That's-
Daniel Day-Lewis.
hard to-
I think Wolf of Wall Street. I think you have Margot Robbie and you have
Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill, who absolutely steal the show from him every time they're in a scene the opposite from him. There has never been a movie where I felt he was the best actor in the movie. And every time he has been snubbed for an Oscar, I believe that has always been the right choice by the Oscar committee. Now, the one exception, and this is the second part of this hot take that is also a hot take, his best acting performance is the one he won the Academy Award for, which is The Revenant. Because in The Revenant, you see acting that we don't see typically in a big Hollywood movie with a Hollywood star, where he is mostly silent, where he is acting physically, where he's acting with his face, with his body, with everything, his movement there. In that movie, he was pitch fucking perfect, and he absolutely deserved the Oscar that year, because that is the single best performance of that year and the single best performance of his career. Everything else after that is overblown, not fine performances, but never anything that was Oscar worthy.
I think for me personally, I do like Leonardo DiCaprio as an actor. I think in Once Upon a Time, there's a scene in that movie where, you know, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, he's playing like a washed out actor. There's a scene in that movie where he's basically taking anything he can get, and he takes a TV role as a cowboy villain, and he does like amazing. It's so meta, the character work he does in that one scene, because it blows in the movie, it blows everybody away. And for me personally, like, I was like, wow, that's just fucking amazing acting work, because he's acting as another character while he's playing another character, which is difficult to do, really. Personally. Also, another Tarantino movie, like the Django, man. I thought he played a great character in that movie as well. But you know, that's how I feel.
It's too over the top for me, and in a movie that is over the top,
That's Tarantino, man.
he's too over the top for me.
That's Tarantino. That's all the characters in that movie, with the exception of the girl that they were trying to get, are all over the
She's
top.
over the top because
Brunhilde.
she screams like a
That-
motherfucker
yeah.
every
Yeah.
single time something happens around her.
Her plugging her ears at the end of it is like the motion, the movement of, like, all she had to do was like slip. She like brings like into a like two angel wings, like and then
Like
Because
she
it's
goes,
all-
she goes
Yeah.
in wide.
in a movie filled with over the top performances. His felt unnatural to me.
I mean, I don't know what to say to that, but yeah. See, and I actually feel the opposite. I think The Revenant is his most overrated role, because it's just like I'm going to just try and put myself in the hardest position that I can and fucking just show pain the whole time. And because I'm out here in the snow, they're really gonna like this. I'm glad that they fucking gave him the Oscar, because if he went through all that bullshit to get it and then they didn't give it to him, what the fuck was he gonna do on his next fucking thing? Because he wanted an Oscar so bad he could fucking taste it. I do think a lot of times, like J. Edgar, like people were like, oh, he deserved an Oscar for that. Nah. I think I can't remember what else he was.
Shutter Island. Again, for me,
Shutter Island, the way he acts is weird and unnatural, but I think that is a choice and it fits with the whole twist of the movie. I don't think that's necessarily like that was the best performance of the year.
but for me, Mark Ruffalo, Ben Kingsley, Michelle Williams, they to me, every time I'm more interested in what they're doing than what he's doing, because I don't think his chops rise to their level of acting chops. I don't. I think, again, he is a good, serviceable actor, but not to the level that so many of our friends and to the larger the general public puts him on. I just don't see it. I've never seen it.
Well, I mean, that happens because he's like just it's leading man thing. You know, they do the same thing with Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise is like a phenomenal actor, but he can be really good when he wants to. He gets in. I will say with someone like Tom Cruise, like he's gotten into I'm not gonna say a rut, but like a groove to where he's gonna play this type of thing. He doesn't do like a Magnolia anymore.
Yeah.
He's
Born on the 4th of July.
Whereas
Yeah,
Born on the
Magnolia
Fourth-
was fantastic.
Whereas
Which Anderson was Magnolia?
Paul Thomas.
Paul Thomas. Okay, thank
Yeah.
you.
Not Paul W.S. Anderson.
Yeah.
That was Mortal Kombat.
Yeah,
the
and Resident Evil.
Evils.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think DiCaprio, I think a lot of times, especially until he won his Oscar, I think he was going for just like, let me get something to get an Oscar.
Mhm.
Let me do something to get an
Mhm.
Oscar. But especially as of late, he's kind of gotten out of that and it's just like, I'm gonna do interesting roles.
Yeah.
He's got it. He's in the newest Paul Thomas Anderson movie. I watched the preview for it at Spider-Man, and that one looks
Isn't that
interesting.
the Drug Runner movie or some shit?
I can't remember. He does something. He's a character who does something unsavory, and his daughter gets like kidnapped, and he's trying to get like money or something. I can't remember exactly.
I
it looked
vaguely
interesting.
remember the.
It
trailer
looked
for
interesting, and it's a Paul Thomas Anderson movie, so I'm probably gonna go see it because
Yeah.
the motherfucker makes good movies.
There you go.
Um,
Tell you what, Brady. Next hot take.
Okay, this is one that I am honestly glad that Bianca is not in the studio for this one.
Uh-oh.
I feel it coming. I feel it coming.
And to be, I'm going to be a lot harsher because I want to be honest and really get the hot take out
Oh, I feel a text
because
message coming.
because I don't.
She's gonna hear this.
She doesn't listen to this.
She doesn't listen to this.
Oh, she's gonna feel it in her soul.
But I try not to yuck people's yum anymore. I used to be a very big asshole about that. Like I would pick apart things and like I literally my at the time girlfriend almost broke up with me because I sat there and picked apart the Twilight movies so much that she got pissed off. But I really try and because you know, like what you like. Me liking one thing and you not liking that, or you liking one thing and me not liking that, doesn't make me superior to you. That being said, Harry Potter is the most overrated franchise in the history of fucking franchises. It is.
Bianca, you can come out now, ladies and gentlemen. Bianca's. No, I'm kidding.
It is.
I thought you were gonna say something else. Okay.
Yeah.
Is a very.
Continue.
What did you think I was gonna
I thought you
say?
were gonna mention something about Taylor Swift.
Oh, I like Taylor Swift. It's fine.
Okay, gotcha.
I don't love Taylor Swift, but I like Taylor Swift.
Okay,
I haven't ever heard a Taylor Swift song where I'm like, oh, I don't like that. I'm like, oh, that's nice. That's good.
Proceed.
Yeah, Harry Potter, bordering on like garbage, and I think most people liked it because they read them at the ages of the characters, and it kind of grew, especially the people who originally read it, they grew up with them. But I was also that age, and I read like the first few chapters of the first book, and I was like, this is fucking garbage. I can't stand this. So I don't want to read this. And the only reason like it has that this property has endured is because you have the machine of fucking Warner Brothers behind it. I think most of the movies are fine to bad. The Prisoner of Azkaban I think is a genuinely good movie, but the rest of them are not great. Maybe the last one's a decent movie, but like they're super overhyped. And I thought all of these before we started finding out that fucking J.K. Rowling was a psycho, but especially now, like I can't stand the fucking property. I do not like it. Nothing about it feels like super special to me. Like there are other young adult franchise book series that I think do similar things to Harry Potter that came out before Harry Potter that are better or around the same time as Harry Potter. I lament that it started this whole trend of like, oh, we got to have like a magical school or some bullshit like that. But yeah, I think Harry Potter is so fucking overrated. I'm so glad that all of the main actors, young actors in the series, got away from that shit and are doing interesting things now. Like I love fucking what's his name?
Daniel
Radcliffe.
Yeah.
I love shit that he's done post this. and
Horns is great.
I'm glad that
Guns
he's.
akimbo.
I'm glad that he's like moved on. Dude who played
Miracle
Ron.
Workers.
Good
Yeah.
Omens.
Yeah. So I just really, and I think a lot of it is just nostalgia. Like it's just, you grew up with this and it was like, I think for a lot of people, it was probably their first like book series. So it really like, it was the first thing that they had a series of books to look forward to and everything like that. So it was a special thing. And I get that, but I think that's really the only thing. I think like when you look at it critically, like it's poorly written. The stories are the characters are fine. Most of the side characters are just like one note, semi-racist caricatures. The fucking Irish kid is always blowing himself up. Jesus Christ. But yeah, that I really strongly dislike the Harry Potter series. And think that it is so fucking overrated, and I'm so tired of it. I hate that they're doing another a fucking series of this.
I've got two things to say about it. One is I avoided it for a while because at the time, especially at this time period when the first movie came out, I didn't read any of the books, by the way. Because that was like shit that did not interest me at all at the time period. Because
Well, I mean, at the time, Jesus Christ, you're like the target audience for the first
Sure.
book was like
Right.
10 years younger than.
but
we were.
I enjoy some media that's aimed at kids. But here's the thing: I worked in a video store. Azkaban had just came out in the theater, so I had gone through all the horror movies, and I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll put in the first Harry Potter movie. I'll check it out. I've got nothing else going on. It's a free movie. But and how I feel about the first movie is this. I think it's a really good, solid kids movie with some pretty cool twists for a kids movie. And it gave me kind of like a light Goosebumps kind of vibe where, it had some colorful things going on. The characters were mostly likable and it had a pretty good story to it. And I have to agree with Brady that I watched 1 through 3 in the same day, and 2 and 3 I did not like at all. I thought they were
3 I actually think is good.
I think they were flat. I like the fourth one. That was the Prisoner of Azkaban movie, right?
Prisoner of
Azkaban
Azkaban
was
was
3.
3.
Fourth
Oh,
one is
Goblet of Fire.
Never mind. I take that back. 3 was good.
Yeah, because it was directed by Alfonso fucking Cuarón.
Right. But okay.
Fucking Children of Men.
Secondly, Brady said, I really hate the fact that they have to have magical schools now. Funny story. She ripped that idea off of a book series that happened 10 or 15 years prior called The Worst Witch, which they actually made a TV series out of in Britain, starring Tim Curry and a very young Fairuza Balk, where they had kids in a wizard school learning how to make potions and learning how to be witches and flying on fucking brooms. So, I can understand where you're at with it. I think culturally, it's the same thing I feel about with E.T. It's there. It had its cultural impact. Yes, J.K. Rowling is a piece of shit. You don't have to cut that. But I mean, if you like certain properties, I think there's a threshold where if you enjoy Harry Potter, even if J.K. Rowling's a piece of shit, that's fine. But I do think that they are overhyped. Again, it's a twofold thing because there are books and there are movies, and I can't speak on the books because I've seen the movies and that's it.
Yeah.
And I think the first movie was good, the third movie was really good.
The 5th book has a subplot where Hermione is trying to do the rights of the house elves, which
Yeah.
are basically slaves, and then they basically tell her, "Oh, you're stupid for doing that."
Yeah, they
Am I wrong with that?
they mentioned that in the movie, and then the thing is they
You're correct.
See?
and
What
they
the
cut
fuck?
out that from what I've heard from people who have read all the books, they cut out the whole arc with the house elves.
Yeah.
Dobby is the only thing that survived out of the
Yes.
house elves
Yeah.
arc.
Yes.
So, but that's my opinion on Harry Potter.
My 2 cents
Yeah.
on this, just real quick. The notion of wizard schools goes back before The Worst Witch. So I cannot in good faith say that she ripped it from that. But it was media that was floating in the water. So
Especially over the pond.
right, but that's media that's floating in the water. But for me, I was neither plus nor minus with the Harry Potter series, even up to this point. I sometimes dismiss the author from the work. I have very dear friends who found joy and found things out of that they've taken to heart in their lives. But for me, having gone back and reading the Earthsea series, that's where I have to dismiss the Harry Potter series, because things that are being shown and taught by Ursula Le Guin so much better than and a lot of it is like Le Guin is writing for an older audience,
Yeah.
whereas it's children growing up. And I will give credit where it's due. She grew up the books. She grew up the books with her audience.
Yeah.
I
I think that was like the one major, like that was one of the like things that really stuck out for that book series was that they grew up with the children.
But going
who read
back
them.
through Earthsea, like that teaching things about responsibility and the price of power and trying to grab for things before you are prepared to even accept the consequences of it. It's so much. Le Guin just does it so much better than Rowling does.
Yeah. Well, a couple of things. Just going off of what you said. Comparing just about anyone to Le Guin is a tough thing because like this is a woman who is ahead of her time. I mean, just look up like what was it The Left Hand of Darkness? That's about that's the sci-fi one where the genders.
Lord of Darkness. I think it's called Lord of Darkness.
Was the people who don't have a gender and then they like.
I want to say that's Lord of Darkness, but
I can't remember, and I apologize. I'm just not I'm not as super familiar. I need to get more familiar. I do want to like read Earthsea and some of her other stuff. I just haven't gotten around to it. But the woman's ahead of her time. Like she had ideas back in the day that like we're just now starting to like grapple with. So comparing
the Left Hand of Darkness.
Left Hand of Darkness.
The Left Hand of Darkness.
So like if like comparing her, like I don't think J.K. Rowling could even like touch the hem of this woman's garment.
The comparison for me is the fact that it's a fantasy world involving magic and the people who and the magic and the people who do it, and trying to every so often put practical measures to it. Like a school teaching magic is to me is a practical way of having magic instead of just it's a force that comes from the body or from the earth or from wherever.
And the second thing, I do feel like I do want to say like if you I believe in like being able to separate the art from the artist. Sometimes it's harder than that than do that. If you like Harry Potter, that's fine. I don't necessarily think less of you. I have again. Up until very recently, my favorite fucking author and my favorite book was by Neil Gaiman, and I'm having to process that.
Sure.
So I understand, and I also understand that a lot of people are don't know a whole lot about the real bullshit that this woman has been doing. I will say like because the woman is causing active harm. I don't like if you know about these things. And you're still spending money like on stuff. Some stuff you can't like I want to go to fucking Islands of Adventure. Harry Potter's part of that, so I'm gonna like
Universal Studios, the new Epic Universe.
There's no ethical
Avoiding
consumption under capitalism and all that.
Yeah,
but like. I do get disappointed when I see these people like, oh, this person's been cast in the TV show. I'm like, oh man, I liked you. I really wish that you, and the way some of like the actors from the movie, the older actors from the movie are like sticking by her. I'm like, oh man, Ralph Fiennes, come on, man. But Helena Bonham Carter. But I do feel like I'm not saying you're a bad person if you like Harry Potter, especially if you grew up with it. I understand that. Again, I'm grappling with shit myself. But and I do think that you can like watch or read or whatever, be exposed to or enjoy art from terrible people. I would really like for you to not give this person money, but I do like. I'm not gonna say that, but I just like. Oh man, I don't even know where I was going with this, but yeah, that's my thought on the stuff that Jay
I
said.
don't want to dismiss Ethan because he didn't really have a chance to speak on this,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
he's
yeah.
read the book. So let's let him talk about Harry Potter for a second.
Yeah.
Even though we've been talking about it for a minute, he deserves a chance to
Yeah,
say
yeah, yeah,
something.
My thing's not gonna be long. Everything that you have said, I agree to a point.
Mhm.
I read the books growing up. I am one of the I am the target audience for the Harry Potter series.
Mhm.
As a kid, I really enjoyed reading the books. As an adult, I can rewatch the movies and say that they are fine. I'm not saying that they are absolutely amazing. I'm of the opinion that there are plot like really good plot points from the books that have been completely dismissed. Like there's a whole thing about the ghost community in like Hogwarts that and like a really good subplot that is completely dismissed. They're just it's just an afterthought.
Mhm.
That the whole thing with the house elves. There are things that have been completely cut from the movies that would really give some depth to the characters that is completely dismissed. Characters are very like single noted, no, it doesn't feel like there's any type of character growth. So yes, I do agree that the movies are fine at best, not amazing.
Mhm.
And I, as an adult, can look back and say that they're all right. I'm not going to actively seek out to watch the Harry Potter movies.
Mhm.
Being able to separate the series from the artist, I can do that, but there's still the afterthought of this series that I loved as a child is created by this horrible woman.
Yeah.
So the things that you have said,
That's
I
fair.
can agree to a point. Yes.
I mean, every once in a while, back in the day when we knew Rosemary's Baby came on TV, I was going to watch it because that movie is so far from Roman Polanski, really. Unlike some of his other works. Like, I can't watch Fearless Vampire Hunters because he's in that movie.
Well,
and
no,
Yeah.
Rosemary's Baby was pre Sharon Tate murder, I believe.
it
Yeah.
is, but it doesn't really
Regardless
matter.
of when, yeah, like with that, like I still own Chinatown. I
Right.
can watch it. But
Right.
like I also realize my problem with someone like Roman Polanski was the same thing I had with J.K. Rowling is the motherfuckers who are, you got some people who not too long ago signed a petition to get him
hell no.
something with
Oh hell no. I don't even know what you're going to say.
It wasn't something like letting him come back to America or something like that, but it was all these, and it's like I looked at that and I was like, oh man, and I think it's the people that if you looked at, you'd be very disappointed. And it's the same thing with this, motherfuckers who are still like making movies with him,
Right.
Fucking Adrian Brody,
Adrian the piano.
yeah, but the pianist,
Whatever. Yeah, different movie.
pianos,
That's a different Harvey Keitel.
That was Holly Hunter.
Holly
and,
Hunter.
and
The same-
Anna Paquin won.
Yeah, it's the
Oscar
same
for that.
woman who directed Power of the Dog.
Right, but I thought Harvey Keitel was in that movie.
He is.
Possibly. Yes, he
That-
is.
yeah,
he
well,
is.
then
Yeah.
don't disavow what I said then.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I forgot that he was in it.
So
You're up, Jody.
I'm up. Oh man, I hate to keep going to movies. I really do. But
it's easy to.
it's a lot easier because movies are a taste thing just like music, but music seems to be more forgiving. Like you can just not like Taylor Swift and that's not a hot take.
Yeah.
Like you can say like, oh, her last album, half the songs were written by 12
Well,
guys.
I think you can like whatever you want to like and not like whatever
Right.
you don't want to like,
Right.
but don't make it your whole fucking personality.
Sure, right.
And I'm saying that as a person who for a little while like that was kind of my personality was, oh, I hate this thing, therefore I am better than you.
Yeah.
And I've tried to move away from that,
It's-
which is why when it comes to things like
Right.
how I feel about Harry Potter, I haven't like fully. I just say I
Sure.
don't like that.
It's a balance because I also didn't care for Twilight as a book series, or
Yeah.
I didn't read the books, and nor did I care to, nor did I care to watch the movies. However, I did see them through osmosis. But what's that?
Same.
Yeah. I don't think I've seen the whole entire series in continuity.
I haven't either.
Or even in non-sequential order. I have to include more than one thing in this thing that I'm about to talk about, if I can be as vague
Sure.
as possible. Because it's an obvious not hot take for most, especially in nerd culture, that part of this is bad anyway. But I'm just going to go ahead and say the whole thing is bad, but not the whole entire franchise, just this one trilogy. I think the sequel trilogy, I really like as a whole. Going back to no. Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones. Everybody knows that movie is shit, and even the third movie. I think they're all even together as a whole. There is so much no for me personally.
Yeah.
That I think you want to talk about like the Two Towers. I'll hit you with this one. I was watching Attack of the Clones, and that movie opens with no urgency, no agency of urgency, because they're fucking like on these like flying cars, and I'm just sitting there going, well, we know Anakin Skywalker isn't dying. I don't know why we're having this chase scene, because I know Ben Kenobi's not dying, because there's a future for these characters. So there's no agency for characters. There's no agency in most of the writing.
Even with the assassination attempt at the beginning when they try to blow up Queen or Senator Amidala's shuttle.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
like we've seen too many scenes of her in trailers and commercials.
Yeah.
She's living through this whole movie.
There's no agency. I didn't like the designs of any of the ships. I thought they were all trash. I found the kid that played Anakin in Phantom Menace really obnoxious and annoying.
Yeah.
And I know what they
Although
were going.
I will say, like, Jake Lloyd
No,
and
he
the
didn't
guy who
deserve to
played
get
Jar
shit
Jar
on.
Binks didn't deserve
He
the
didn't
shit that they
deserve to
got
get
from
shit
it.
on. The actor didn't deserve to be shit on. The writing was awful. In all three movies, in my personal opinion. The third movie, people always always try and like make these movies good as a whole, and they're like, oh well, there's parts of there's parts before he murdered the children where they walked around a lot and talked about things they shouldn't have. There was like pacing issues, and not in the slow way. In the third movie specifically, where he's talking to Palpatine, and Palpatine's like, there's a way you can save Padme if you turn to the dark side. Immediately goes to Mace Windu and goes, hey, I think Palpatine's a Sith Lord. Goes back to Palpatine and goes, I think I'm ready to be a Sith Lord. It's literally like minutes. It feels like minutes.
No. And then
Yeah.
says, how do I save Padme? I have no idea, but we'll figure it out. Wait, what? God damn it.
The thing that also pisses me off about the trilogy as a whole is like, after like I saw it in the theater. I saw it on day one, a matinee showing, no less, in the theater that was in Pascagoula before they tore it down to make 4 parking spaces in Lowe's that they don't use. I watched this movie and nobody was angry. They were just really confused. Especially when you get to people are looking at each other when they get to the underwater Gungan part of the movie.
Yeah.
They're like, what am I watching?
Yeah.
Is this Star Wars? It's like the butterfly meme. Is this a Star Wars?
Yeah, I'm going to try to avoid all of the arguments that I made in the previous episode. See that Jay will probably be able to tell you the number.
I need to
don't
say
fucking
one
know.
more thing.
I'm
That
sorry.
was the one and only bus fight episode.
I need to say one more thing. The one thing that George Lucas, out of all the stupid things the man has said over the years, after the first movie, in between the first and second movie, when there was fan backlash, and he's sitting there going, oh, I was just trying to make a movie kid. Fuck you, George. You were not making a movie for kids. Kids do not give a fuck about trade negotiations. Suck my fucking dick. All right, go ahead, Brady.
Okay. Besides all of the things that I said in previous episode, one of the main problems with the prequels is that prequels are very hard to do. But be it a movie, a TV series, or anything, because the tension for the most part is not there, because okay, nothing super bad is going to happen to this character. But the best thing that a prequel can do, and I think a good example of this, and the show, the series as a whole was not great. I think there was more bad stuff in it than good stuff. Is when in the Spartacus show that happened forever ago, when they made a short prequel series to kind of buy time for the actor to recover, and then he really didn't from cancer. That's an example of like doing it best, where what you do is you go back to a point of time where things are massively different, and then people get, okay, these characters are in totally different places, and then you show them how they get to the place that you see.
Right.
And even then, like, the tension wasn't fully there, because like, okay, there's this one guy in here, he's not in this the older series, which is actually like further forward in time, so I know that something's gonna happen to him. I don't know if he's gonna die or just leave or whatever, but something's gonna happen. So there's still not like full, you can't really ever do a prequel that actually has good tension, but when you set it up to where, okay, how did these people get to the position to where they are in this other thing that I watched, that is when a prequel like actually works, or is the closest to working as possible. And man, the Star Wars prequels didn't do that very well.
I had the same issue that I have with the Star Wars prequels as I do with all 3 Hobbit movies, and that is this: do not add more to lore that doesn't need to be added.
Yeah, well,
We don't. Okay,
Yeah, that was
I give a pass on some things. Midi-chlorians, I actually give a pass on midi-chlorians. You know why? Because I don't think I believe that Anakin Skywalker built fucking C-3PO. That's why.
That is the other big problem with the prequels, is that they shrank the universe instead of, oh, okay, well, here's these characters all coming together from these little things, and they continue to do that. Like when they did
Skywalker Legacy,
when they did the fucking Han Solo movie, they just continue to shrink the universe to where it's no. It's only these things that are happening on these couple of little planets, and everything is connected. There are no like characters that just came from nowhere. It's all connected. It's all always been connected. Well, that's less fucking interesting. Like, it's more fucking interesting that it's just C-3PO and R2 were just around, and they weren't like built by fucking Anakin or anybody like that. They were just fucking droids that happened to be involved with some shit.
The fact that Yoda knew Chewbacca.
right?
That is
Right. And R2D2 also, by the way.
My piece of this history is the best thing for fans and outright apologists for the prequel trilogy was episodes 7, 8, and 9. Because we at the time was like, this can't get
any worse. Yeah.
And then the bottom dropped out, and we all fell down a giant hole. And I think some of us are still falling.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well,
8 was bad, and I'll say this to the day I die: 9's not even a goddamn movie. It's a series of coincidences.
Yeah. Ethan, what about you, brother?
I feel like what I say is just gonna be a
Echo chamber.
a
giant
echo of what we've discussed in the past.
Yeah.
Over, not only for that one specific episode, but for the various small talks that we've had across the entirety of
It's
the
almost
show.
it's almost always though Attack of the Clones. Everyone talks about Attack of the Clones. They don't talk about the trilogy as a whole, and that's the issue. And I'm going to talk about Lord of the Rings, not Lord of the Rings, but The Hobbit for just a moment.
Yeah.
They did not. There's the Hobbit book and the Hobbit animated movie. This is wholly based off of the book. There is no fucking Legolas. There is no like ring circle of like Galadriel and Gandalf and Sauron or Saruman or whatever the fuck. I can't remember. I'm so mad.
The Hobbit was corporate greed. It's like we want a trilogy of movies, and it's kind of because Lord of the Rings kind of was kind of the modern version. Star Wars did before, but it was the modern version of shit has to be a like it kind of rebroke it to where it's like we have to have trilogies. It has to be trilogies. And then fucking Harry Potter made it to where we got to have like 18 movies in the series. We got to have a whole fucking series.
If the
and then the fucking Marvel universe,
God,
we have to have 20 fucking movies, and it all has to be connected, and they all have to have little bitty things that you have to watch.
Remember, there are more Marvel Universe movies than there are James Bond movies. And James Bond had a 50-year head start on those motherfuckers.
Not if Amazon has anything to say about it. We're going to start cranking those bitches out yearly.
They needed 2 movies, Ethan. 2 movies would have been fine. You know what you don't need if you have 2 movies? Wedging in a love story between an elf and a dwarf that did not happen in the fucking book.
Yeah, that's my hot take about The Hobbit. People complained about it being made into 2 movies. I was like, oh, I'm fine with that. I know the exact place that you fucking cut it. At 2 movies, and I think that there's plenty of shit on either side that you can flesh out without adding anything else. And man, they did 3 movies and they still didn't fucking put Tom Bombadil in that shit. What the hell?
Yeah. They wedged in a love story that didn't need to be in there. Cut out Tom Bombadil. Added more shit with like the One Ring, which by the way was like a retroactively added thing. When he had to write another book, and his publishing company said the Silmarillion shit's not working out. We need more hobbits.
Yeah,
the ring just turned him invisible.
The original version of The Hobbit didn't.
There was no One Ring.
They changed the riddle game chapter of The Hobbit later, or he did.
He did. He did later on after The Lord of the Rings was published.
Yeah,
he did. But anyway,
all right,
that's my hill.
Ethan, go for it. Hot take.
So I'm actually gonna step away from movies.
Thank God somebody could.
I'm actually gonna step away from movies. This is gonna be more so for like magic. People need to stop complaining about other people's like play styles.
Is that your hot take?
So, and I'm
let him cook.
I'm sorry.
I'm
I'm
go
sorry.
a little deeper into this.
I'm sorry.
People. Yes, Wizards came out with the whole bracket system. Was like, hey, these are how you can like scale down your power levels of like making decks and make the game more enjoyable for everybody. Not everybody does that. Coming from competitive play in 60 card formats to incorporating that into Commander 100 card singleton, high power competitive. However, people have their own unique play styles, and everybody does not need to conform to other people's play styles to make sure the game is enjoyable for them.
Gamers complain.
Yeah, I understand that, and it's like the whole argument is, oh, I don't have the hundreds of thousands of dollars that people can spend on a single deck. There are people that effectively make decks at a budget that can outshine like the most busted decks out there. Like not everybody needs to drop like $700, $800, $1,000 on cards and decks just to catch up with people that have been playing the game much longer. Like people need to stop complaining.
Well, something that I've noticed around here and also with the people that I play with, not around here, is there's not a lot of like Rule Zero talks.
No,
there's not a lot
almost
of
never.
There's not a lot of okay, I have multiple things that I can play to kind of fit in.
We do that when we play, but
it's I want to play this, and I don't really give a shit if it's going to match your power level or not.
Yeah.
I can't, and this is somebody who I've not been in Magic that long.
That's good. We need that opinion.
But I think that it's a little bit crazy to say that like, okay, I have this bracket 2 deck that it's a really good bracket 2 deck, but like it can compete with like a CDH deck. Like I've because I've watched CDH games and I've watched, you know, lower power games, and
Yeah.
even a good one of those decks is like, because they're made to do two different things.
Sure.
Like, see, when you get to like something, some of the like the higher 4 and 5,
Right.
like that game is trying to do a different thing than
Right.
every other game. I wish that there were some things a little bit more concrete in the bracket system, but but like I said, I think the big thing around, and it's especially with, because fucking all the people that I play with, although apparently they don't like coming and playing on certain days or whatever, but and I rarely play with those motherfuckers anymore. But it's just, everybody is going, I want to build the absolute strongest deck that I can. Therefore, you just have to like catch up. So
Yeah.
so it's a fucking arms race where we're all trying to just, okay,
I remember those
we
days.
we just all have to keep going. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, like sometimes I have this the fucking goblin deck that I want to fucking play.
Right.
Can we please, do you have something that's not just, I spent all my fucking money on these expensive ass cards. Let me fucking can you just have to keep the fuck up.
I think I see where you're coming from, but I'm going to comment on what Ethan said a second ago. What people are really complaining about, but not saying it flat out because they really don't want to like say how terrible they are at gaming in any capacity, is they're not complaining about your quote unquote play style. They're complaining about your skill level. That's what it is. It's not just the deck level, which definitely does matter once you get to a certain point. But I'll tell you that I could play a level 2 deck against a level 4 deck, and if the person I'm playing against has only been playing for 6 months and I have the right amount of removal and interaction with my deck, I'm going to win every single time because I've been playing the game for 22 years. That is a wholly different conversation that people can't really have.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, okay, we could talk about power levels. Like, well, my deck is like a 3. Everybody else's deck is a 3. All right, I have a really high % chance of winning, not just because of skill level, but because of experience and knowing, okay, my opening hand sucks, mulligan, my opening hand sucks, mulligan. Most people will keep crap. They'll keep a crappy hand. They won't run enough lands. They don't run. They run too many lands. There's all these different like little things, and it's a bunch of added shit. And probably one of the many reasons why Jay doesn't like EDH.
My take on this is, anytime I sit down to make a deck, I am not the forethought is not, okay, what power level do I want to make this? If I sit down and I make a deck, I want to make it to the best of my ability that I can make it, regardless of bracket level or game changers or whatever the fuck. They're wanting to scale the deck as. I want to make sure that I'm building it to the best of my ability to make sure that to where I have the most fun with the deck that I am putting time and effort into making.
Right, and you could always, if you built it to the best of your ability, scale it back down over time if you played a lot and decided you wanted to be on a equal level with everybody else. Also, real quick, Brady, we have those conversations when we play here a lot. What power level are we playing? Because I bring 5 decks every time I come up here when I'm playing Magic, and I have a level 2 to a level 4. That's what I have.
And one of the things I see a lot is, if I sit down for a game and I pull out a deck, everyone sees what I'm playing. They're like, "Oh, you're playing this deck. I need to kill you first because I know what this deck does."
Right.
To where it makes it feel like I'm arch enemy. Everyone's coming after me just because
they're intimidated by your skill level. It's not just the deck.
Exactly.
Personal experience. It's not just your decks.
Yeah.
It's your skill level. They say the same thing about Ian. They say the same thing about me. They say the same thing about Austin. They say the same thing about quite a few players that are up here, and it doesn't really matter. It would be the same thing if we sat down and I go, "Hey man, we're gonna play Roll for the Galaxy. I played this game 50 times. You played it 3.
Exactly.
It's a skill level thing. It's not just one thing, it's multiple.
Yeah. Jay, do you have any comments on just
this starts with a character flaw of mine. I am hyper competitive. Hyper competitive. You put me in a situation where I'm going up against other people, it's not that I want to win. I need to win. That's the way my brain's wired. That is a character flaw, and I admit that, and I've tried to work on that, and for the most part, I have failed in my life. I do not when I'm running board games at the shop and it is a competitive game in nature, or if it's a card game or anything, and it's people competing against one another, I have to sit up from the table and I have to instruct the game where I am not inside the game. When Ethan and I played Arcs for the first time, and it was the first time Bianca ever sat down to play a game with me as a competitive. If anytime in a competitive game with me, I cut her throat every single fucking time I could. Same way I cut Ethan's throat every time I could. Same way I cut John Sheldon, who's that. I can't unwire that.
Mm-hmm.
In Magic, that goes into overdrive for me.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say this, and this sounds so, and it's not that it sounds, it is. When I am playing Magic, I want every single person that I'm playing with to be miserable. I want them to consider not playing the game anymore because of how much they hate playing against me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That is regressive. That is regressive fucking thinking. So when I see these, and I'm not saying you guys, but when I see these fucking commander fight, we're all gonna come together and we're gonna have fucking fun, I want to stomp on your fucking throats. I want to gouge your fucking eyes out because I don't want you to ever be able to read Magic cards again because you're playing Magic in a way that is so fucking anathema to me that I fucking can't stand it. I fucking despise Commander for that reason alone. And then other reasons on top of that also pile on top of that. But the cake batter of that is it's like, oh, we just want to play to have fun. If you want to play to have fun, go fucking play Tiddlywinks. If you're sitting at a table with me in a Magic game, and I want you to fucking wish you weren't fucking born. So yeah, if someone's playing against me, I hate his playstyle. Yes, 100%. That there are these aberrant fucking playstyles, and I'm one of them that doesn't. I want to play Magic, and I want you to sit there and fucking cry. That's it. That is it. So like, no. Let me. So in summation on that, no, that playstyle bullshit. Yeah. No. It's like, if you think it's bad, wait till you get like fucking like regressive triggered alpha me sitting at a table with you. Yeah, that's a play style you don't want to fucking play. There are play styles that go past competitive to go into reactionary, regressive. It's not a matter of playing a game. It's a matter of humiliating the person in front. And I play that way. And that's one of the reasons I don't want to play Magic right now, because that's not the feel.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been watching a few things where people like some kind of podcasts and stuff where people have been talking about Magic, especially specifically Commander. And I think a lot of people's philosophy of the format is a little skewed because
100%.
even at and I can't remember the exact statistics, but like even at the most competitive levels, even at CDH levels, like the best person who plays CDH competitively in tournaments has like a 34% win rate.
Sure.
And the fact that like going first is like such a humongous, I can't remember what the exact percentages is.
Disadvantage.
But like, it's such a big advantage.
Yeah.
Like the first player is going to win like an inordinate percentage of time of times.
Right.
In that, if this were another card game, if this was like the format of a card game and this was its only format, they would be like, this is untenable. We cannot do this. But the fact that this is just a format in Magic, it's taken too seriously, I think. And I think that's again one of the reasons why you absolutely despise it, Jay. But like that's the thing. Like whenever I play a game of Magic, I want to win, but I also want to like just have fun with my deck because I thought this was a fun deck. This would be a fun deck to play.
My play style is this: I play to the best of my ability while also enjoying the company of my friends.
Yeah,
the enjoying the company of my friends does not outweigh me trying to play to the best of my ability.
Yes.
Now, me personally, like as a strategy, I don't think about playing to win, even though I'm playing to win. I'm just playing to the best of my ability so that my chances of winning are
Yeah.
higher.
I'm trying to make the best choice every time.
Right.
And that
However,
that wins me the game.
the other
but that's
problem-
how I play. That's all board games, all card games, all
problem-
games. That's how I play.
The problem with the psychological aspects of playing Commander with 4 people is that it's both it's hypocritical, like psychologically, because it's both the balance, as Ethan was talking about. People can play gamers fucking bitch about everything.
Yeah.
They complain about
That's-
everything. So
That's the
so
coldest take of the night.
so
Yeah.
so you have a balance of trying to appease everybody by playing a quote unquote balanced deck, but you're not culling your play style while playing your balanced deck, because then you're just throwing the fight. You're just throwing the game. So what are you to do? You're never going to win. You're going to win, but you're never going to win, because there are some players that are complain about everything, because a lot of times, especially in CDH, the problem comes with who's stopping who win until somebody else wins.
yeah.
That's usually the problem,
Yeah, it's
and that's
because
the
there's
problem
so
with
much-
casual too.
And that's because there's so much like interaction and stuff in CDH and stuff like that.
Probably another reason why Jay hates Commander is that Commander as a format has pretty much singularly modified and quantified and consolidated kitchen table Magic that was 60 card kitchen table Magic to 100 card singleton that up until this next set that's coming out has warped all the way through standard and has warped standard for their design on where packs were usually actually made for draft and cards were designed around draft and limited, with also having standard and modern play in their process to be more focused on sets like War of the Spark, where you have like 90 bagazillion legendary creatures, because Commander is your most popular format, even though it's not really a format, but it is a format.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It walks hand in hand with the increase in price in the 100% correct.
yeah.
The playstyle of Commander EDH Singleton has morphed what you get out of the product.
Yeah.
But the product itself, to me, has also increased in a price.
Yes.
Not just individually.
Right.
There's an increase there that would be manageable. But if you want to play in the current standard format, you have to invest, in my opinion, and this is outside looking in as opposed to inside looking out when I was in the game.
Yeah.
It costs way more to keep up with that now than it ever did back then.
Currently, if you take out Final Fantasy, currently it's the most expensive it's been since original Innistrad, whereas the top deck that was in most of the top 8s, which was Callblade, had Jace the Mind Sculptor, Stoneforge Mystics, et cetera. The deck was $900. Not foiled, not anything. All the cards you needed to fetch lands were every average cost of every card in your deck was like $20 to $40, right? Which is $800. The average deck now is still less than that, but it's still expensive. It's still about $500 to $600 for usually the top most expensive decks. However,
See, I left before Callblade. My last set is Mirrodin block.
Sure.
And you could make a conceivably good deck in that round for less than 200.
Right. Well, the cost of everything goes up, and I don't disagree with you, but I will also say that if it wasn't for a lot of different things that have been going on for the past 10 or 15 years, even though Hasbro owns Wizards of the Coast might have folded way earlier if changes hadn't have been made and things hadn't evolved. There's no way for anybody to really tell in that aspect of the game.
You can't prove a negative.
But you can't prove a negative. But I will say this: Magic the Gathering has a player base in real life, on paper, 40 million players. They had less than 1/3 of that 5-10 years ago. And those numbers keep going down the further back you go. Of course, if you go back to 1993, whatever. But if you go back to 2005, they had less than 5 million people playing the game. Now they have over 40 million people playing the game. There's a reason why over 40 million people are playing the game.
Yeah. There's another thing, again, like I said, I've been been watching some stuff, and it's talking about like Commander, and I think a thing that also gets either not done or downplayed or very simplified is the idea that there like there's basically two parts to a Commander game. There is the cards that are in your deck and everybody's deck and their hands and what they're playing, but then there's also the politics of it. And what I'm talking and I don't see that a lot again with the people that I play with outside of the shop. It's very rarely there in any form. And again, y'all play at the shop way more than I do around more people, but I also see a lot of times like there's not politics is either non-existent or it's like, hey, why'd you attack me, why didn't you attack them, or
that's not,
or they're just going like when you watch like other things, like people are making deals and people are doing all of these things and people are really trying to like talk their way out of things and stuff like that, and you don't and I understand that also these are like recorded games, so they're gonna like ham it up.
Command Zone's really big on like actual politics of like, hey, if you let me do this, I'll not attack you on the next turn.
You don't see that very much, like
not as much,
not as much, and
I liken that argument to arguments I've heard about Scythe being a political game, in the fact that you can engage in politics in Scythe, but true politics rarely happens in Scythe.
But I think like but again, from what these not even when they're talking about games that they play like outside of the games that they show, there's also like politics is a big thing. It's like making deals. It's like trying to talk your way out of things and things like that. And you don't see that very much. And I think that can be an equalizer to, okay, my deck is not as good, but if I can like make the right deals and like talk people out of things and like, maybe start out not trying to present as much of a threat and stuff like that.
Usually, anytime it comes up, if I'm in a game and it's politics, normally it's for me straightforward. It's a straightforward thing where I will explain, and it's not bluffing. I don't bluff when I play Commander anymore.
Bluffing in Commander is bad because if you lie, then people are just never going to trust you.
There's bluffing and there's like, I can't win on my turn, but I'm playing a combo deck.
Yeah.
Right.
There's withholding information is also a different thing.
Usually
if somebody goes, oh, do you got flyers over there? No, I don't have flyers. I got a reach guy, but you didn't ask that.
Usually what ends up happening,
that's a different thing.
As far as politics go, is I point out the obvious things that keep me from dying first. Things like, can you stop them? No, I can't stop them. Yeah, but the problem is like you not being able to stop them means that you're just not going to win on your turn because you're playing a combo deck. And you wouldn't have any answers anyway. So you need to die before I do. Ethan's board is way more than my board. Like I'm not really doing a whole lot. I haven't done anything for 5 turns. So you probably want to kill him next.
Yeah.
That's the only politics that really comes up. If I'm the threat, I'm the first one to tell you that I'm the threat.
Yeah.
Like 100%. Like there is no politics there. But it's if it's there, it's very subtle and it's usually straightforward.
Yeah.
The deals almost never get made, mainly because everybody's skill level is at a point, as well as their decks. They're tweaked to a point where you really can't honestly make too many deals without giving somebody else an advantage to where they're going to win the game. That's the issue. We would all have to be like playing level 2 decks for that to really be a thing, like on a more constant basis.
Yeah, that's my Magic hot take.
Do we feel better? Do we feel worse? Oh my God, what have we done to ourselves?
I don't think it was more of a hot take than it was a cathartic release of anger.
Yeah.
I feel like this is more so a confessional.
Out of all the episodes that we recorded, because this shit's like therapy for me. This was the most therapeutic of getting all the negativity out of my body.
Yeah, I felt steam coming off you when you were talking about ET.
Yeah.
I mean, we got passion talking about Magic just now.
Yeah.
So.
Do you hate Ethan because his name starts with ET?
No.
Okay, just checking. I'm just checking.
I hate Ethan for other reasons.
Oh, okay, there you go.
He just hates me. He
I had to. It was
Let
there.
that motherfucker pull out some Reese's Pieces, though, and he'll show you.
Is it his play style?
No, it's his skill level.
Oh.
It's too close to mine.
There you go.
Stop being good.
There you go.
Never.
No, okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bus is rolling in the station, but we would be remiss if we did not thank McNarb Gaming in Goshen, Mississippi for providing us this wonderful studio space from which we can record this, our podcast for you, our passengers. This is going to be our first podcast where we're actually coming out on a Friday.
Yes.
And it's coming out this Friday. So what is happening at the shop this Friday?
This Friday, the pre-release for Edges Beyond Edges of Eternity is coming out.
Is that
You like
legitimately
spaceship because there's motherfuckers in
is-
space.
is
Edge
that
of
legitimately the name
it's
of
Edge
it?
of
Edge of Eternity.
Edge of Eternity.
Okay. I just wanted
Edge of
to make
Eternity.
sure.
Yeah.
I was wondering if a stroke had happened. We didn't know there, but yeah.
No,
Yeah.
a bit happened, but it's fine.
I
Yeah,
was
the pre-release
I was
is
planning on
happening.
going not here because this is too far away and I have a game shop like literally 2 minutes from my house. I was planning on going to
That's
the pre-release, but my I'm getting my daughter this weekend, so
Oh, hell yeah.
we're not going to be doing that.
Good stuff.
I don't know if I'm good to do the pre-release.
don't-
I might get a pre-release kit. I haven't decided.
I don't know,
yet.
like
Is there burnout?
I
Is there
haven't-
burnout from Final Fantasy?
It's not
is that
burnout.
a part of it?
It's not
No.
burnout, even though Final Fantasy only came out like 6 weeks ago.
Yeah, that's
it's not
ridiculous.
burnout for me personally. It's just that you kind of have to. If you have multiple hobbies like all of us at the table,
Yeah.
like video games and board games and comic books and oh my god, I spent like $50 at Ollie's because they had like Hellraiser the graphic novel.
Oh damn.
It's pick and choose, and I'm not
Yeah.
sure. I'm indifferent to it because pre-releases are like $35 or whatever, 35 bucks. And also the Gundam card game is coming out in a couple of weeks, maybe a month.
You're super excited about that.
So there's that.
I'm just like, I had fun the last time I played it, and I think it's like an interesting little puzzle, basically to do. I would probably do shit like I did last time. I think I had like one win, and that was because it was a buy. But
a lot of the times I have
It's
to be.
fun to
but
go.
I got an ass pre-release kit. That was a sucky ass pre-release kit.
Also going in blind, not knowing most of the cards or how they interact
Yeah.
or any of
I
that.
have to be excited about the set in order to like dive into.
There's not much from this set that I'm super excited
unfortunately,
about.
A lot of people are excited about a lot of different things in it, but as the set as a whole, I'm just not too excited about.
There's no card that I went and go, oh, that's cool.
There's definitely like some
there's-
I feel-
singles that I'm gonna try and get.
Yeah.
I feel like, well, they're introducing a new permanent type, and also I think that it's going to have what I like to call like the Duskborn effect, which is like Duskborn was like when it came out, it was like whatever, but now retroactively people are going back to the same thing with Outlaws of Thunder
Yeah.
Junction, and a bunch of other sets. People are going like Aether Drift is more recent, but people are going to start going, you know what, it wasn't that bad, and go back to it. The problem with Eternity is it's not really aimed. It's one of the, when I was talking about like up until now, Commander being focused so much that it warped standard. Well, not
Yeah.
this set. There's
Yeah.
hardly any legendaries at all in this set, which is one of the reasons why they said you could play the stations as a commander now.
Yeah.
Because there's not many regular legendary creatures, and that's fine.
Yeah.
I think that's good. They need to push standard. They really do. And this set pushes standard, especially cards that are from Final Fantasy really interact a lot with these station cards. Oh my god.
I have heard a lot like the sealed doing Edge of Eternity sealed, which is what pre-release is like really fun. Like this is a really good set for sealed. So,
That's good because normally that's never the case.
Yeah.
which is why I was excited, but again, not gonna do it. So
If you are interested in Edge of Eternity's pre-release, come check out McNub Gaming.
if you
Goshen,
like
Mississippi.
edging, come to McNarb Gaming
Yeah,
Friday night.
They should have thought about that.
We're gonna be edging all night long, baby.
all over Eternia.
Throughout eternity.
This is actually
man.
this is the first of a two set release. The first one, of course, Edge of Eternity. The second one is Gooning of Eternity. It's going to be great. But ladies and gentlemen, McNarb Gaming in Goshen, Mississippi. All gaming needs can be satisfied at McNarb Gaming in Goshen, Mississippi. That was another edging thing I tried to get in there. But next week, I believe we finally decided we're going to be watching Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction.
This is one of Ethan's
My
movies he
number-
gotta
my-
watch.
My number one
His
movie.
personal number one to
My
go
personal
watch.
number one.
Also, we're going to put Brady and Jody in a car, and whoever shoots Marvin in the face first, that's the host for that episode. So there we go.
Which one of us is Samuel L. Jackson? Not it.
If any one of you motherfuckers moves,
That was Bunny, wasn't it?
that was
Yeah,
Bunny.
that was
Okay,
funny.
there you go. Well, so one more time around the room, we are travelers on the omnibus. I'm James McCarthy.
I'm Bray Davis.
I'm Jody Kite.
I'm Ethan Skinner.
Thanks for stopping by and enjoying the ride, guys.
Bye bye.
Man, this is gonna be an interesting movie watching experience. Post movie watching experience. There's so, oh my god, there's so much shit that happens in this movie.
Yeah, it is a lot.
Out of sequence.
Yeah.
To this day, I know Big Kahuna Burger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It is a tasty burger.
You're gonna be like, wait a minute. Didn't that character? What's going on here? Did I see this?